Lamb offered $33 million, roughly $33 million, according to this report right here. Hard to know what to believe. A lot of mud being thrown at the wall. People trying to make stuff stick. We have no confirmation on any of this. Per source, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. $33 million per season. He's not going for that. The word on the street is that Ceedee Lamb is potentially, I don't know if I have this piece of news anywhere, but Ceedee Lamb is potentially looking for, if I could find this news report, looking for $40 million per year annually. 40 million. Is this the report here? No, that's not it. This was, we got to talk about this as well. Jelani Woods expected to have surgery. Also a little bit of AR5 buzz. But Ceedee Lamb reportedly wants 50 million or 40 million per year, 120 million guaranteed. JJ got 110. JJ has 35. If the Cowboys think they're walking away from the negotiation table with a signed contract that's under JJ's, they got another thing coming. He's getting paid $35 million. JJ and Lamb will not make less money than one another. It's at least equal. There's no way Lamb goes away from the table signing a $33 million deal. Now, on the flip side, I don't think he gets 40. I think that's crazy talk as well. But we'll get into the Lamb situation. We've also got a lot of Aiyuk, Commander buzz. This report right here, take it with a grain of salt. Could Aiyuk be headed to Washington? Apparently, Aiyuk was one of the first people to like this post that said that make it happen. Bring Brandon Aiyuk to D.C. with his brother Jaden Daniels. And apparently, who knows if it's been Photoshop. I don't know. It says 3 minutes after it was posted, Brandon Aiyuk liked the post. What's that mean? It doesn't really mean anything, but it sure is interesting, right? And then you've got this piece of news. Steeler podcasts and pages and Instagram accounts everywhere trying to make a name for themselves. He's coming to Pittsburgh still. Apparently, Brandon Aiyuk also liked a post that said, very interested in wearing gold and black, and there was I think it was some color, mock-up of Aiyuk in a Pittsburgh Steeler color, and Aiyuk liked it. So he's liking everything on social media. So I don't think Commander fans should be feeling very special when he's liking their post. He's liking every post he can because he's trying to create controversy, because he wants the Niners to step up and sign a big deal. And then on the show today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about how to crush your league going sleeper wide receiver at your wide receiver 2, at your wide receiver 3, rolling out the tripod, potentially, coming in with one strong wide receiver, and then grabbing a plethora of these guys, or maybe even making your one strong wide receiver this man Tank Dell right here. We've got 2 super chats on the docket from Ron Navy and Ray G coming in strong with $20 wads. I got to fix my announcement because it's not showing these. Let me see if I can edit this real quick and have it update that. So Ron and Ray G, I'm coming for your super chats right this very second. Hang tight. Appreciate you all. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show Sleeper Wide Receiver Edition, Breaking News Edition, talking about Lamb and Aiyuk and other things like AR5 Edition begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Kicking off the show, Ron Navy with a $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Ron Navy, appreciate you. Ron Navy coming in strong with a super chat wad saying, let's go. Ray G with a 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat.
Both of you guys, appreciate you. Ray G says, are we fading Parasol or do we consider him a midseason monster? I think definitely midseason potential. I don't know if I'd say monster yet. Midseason potential. kind of an injury waiting to happen type of environment, right? If Aiyuk's holding out, which he is, and he comes back out of shape or not mentally in tune or just out of sync, or he has a compensation injury, then Aiyuk makes way for Ricky Pearsall. And there's still a potential trade. Because at the end of the day, there's no, Aiyuk's going to be back in San Francisco. Clearly, he's been difficult. So it's hard to know. I would say midseason monsters, a little hopeful at this moment, but midseason hopeful, I think is what we would call him. And this Super Chat PPR trade chase for MHJ straight up. In a dynasty, yes, I'd take MHJ. In redraft, I think you're jumping the gun a little bit to do it straight up because I think you can get a whole lot more. Before we get to the wide receiver 2024 segment where we start talking about how to smash your league into a bunch of million little pieces by going with these guys and a few others. These aren't the only ones. We're jumping over to the news front and just real quickly going to touch on this again. Aiyuk liking everything. Everybody out there saying, Smitty, he liked the Commander post. He also liked the Steeler post. He's out there liking everything. He's out there like a like machine. Just saying, you talking about me? Boom. If you could help me get my Niner deal a little bit higher, boom. Let me see if I can create controversy. Maybe he even comments on one of these and says, that is a good looking uniform on me, that black and gold. Then he swings on over to the Commander front and starts, posting pictures of him in JD5 or something, let's say on his stories. He could go in 100 different directions to try and motivate the Niners to up the ante. But here's the thing. The Niners may not up the ante. Just like Lamb is being offered under 33, I think is what this report said. And I don't know that I buy it, but slightly under $33 million per season. Just because it's the final and best offer doesn't mean Lamb Chops is going to sign it. And if Aiyuk is getting $2-3 million a year under his asking price, he might say to himself, if I play on my fifth-year option or I try and force this trade, I'll get a little bit more money. Let me go play for Pittsburgh, a team I might not want to play for more, but I could urge the Niners to make this trade. Or, hey, let's kickstart some more Washington Commander trade talk. Maybe there's something going on behind closed doors because of Adam Peters' closeness to the organization because he was practically the silent GM over there for years. Maybe there's a lead on this that no one knows about. No breadcrumbs, no trail, nothing where the Commanders are in talks trying to initiate a stealth mode trade. This happens all the time. It happened with the Atlanta Falcons when they thought they had Deshaun Watson in their kung fu grip and the Cleveland Browns swept in and said, we'll give you $230 million guaranteed. And we all said, what? What? $2 holler. The announcements are back. Appreciate you, Chucky, coming in. Says trade Rashad White and Christian Kirk for Bijan. Don't do this unless you like winning, Chunk. If you like winning, Chunk, if you like winning in chunks, bro, why would you even ask me this? I'll tell you this. You're smashing your league to pieces, bro, but I'm taking away your Bijan card, Chunk, because how do you not know to do this trade? And the veto police are going to be after you if you aren't careful.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
Yeah, his name is Chunky98, and he's taking advantage of somebody in a trade right now, and I'd like to report this. He'll be here. I'll try and keep him for about an hour, because the retention rate on this channel is an hour long at least. You better not go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. You shouldn't go anywhere. We haven't even begun the wide receiver portion of the show. So Chunky, pitch your tent. Appreciate your $2 holler. And appreciate everybody filing in the building right now. My super chat docket is clean and clear. I keep trying to clear it as it comes, so file in, throw them on there. I'll answer right away. Phone lines will be open in a minute. But again, just to kind of recap, Ceedee Lamb. Is Ceedee Lamb going to be inked to a deal this offseason that ranges from 37 to 40? That's what's going to need to happen. There's a real chance Ceedee Lamb, who's capable of sitting out a portion of the year, he's going to sit back and go, nope, I'm doing this for everybody, and I'm going to get so much money, I could care less about this game check. And you know what? You're going to pay me that game check back when you bring me back in, and you wasted my time. I'm Ceedee Lamb. I'll get whatever I want. This guy can do whatever he wants. He's going to eventually get his money. And let's just say in some weird way, this thing went crazy and Lamb held out the entire year and he's got to come back to the table. Guess how much he gets paid per year the next go around? 40. So I'm just saying that I'm not saying he's holding out the whole year. If he was to hold out in a weird situation, and this is weird. This is one of those situations where we try and use history and say this doesn't happen. The player always returns. This is a unique scenario where these wide receivers are getting so much damn money that there's a real shot. They push the limits to this thing. They force the team's hand. They sit out 2 or 3 games. If Lamb doesn't show up for week 1 and week 2, he's getting whatever he wants upon his return in week 3 or 4. Problem is that could screw fantasy football owners. So we understand that there's a little bit of risk with Lamb Chops this year. But right now, it is being reported Lamb Chops is getting under $33 million per year offered to him, which is a spit in the face to this man who just saw JJ get 35. He wants 40. He's not probably getting 40, but how are you going to offer him 33 if that is true? He's not coming back for week 1 if this doesn't get settled. We heard that it was potentially in the works. We've seen Jerry Jones talk it up, saying, oh, now we're back on potentially. Things are going good. I love Ceedee Lamb. He's very missed. I misspoke about this and that. Jerry's been all over the place all offseason. I do think it gets done, but it sounds like if that report's correct, and I don't know that it is, sounds like they're still way off. And they got to get closer. The season's approaching. And again, as for Aiyuk, I think the same thing's happening. It's just Aiyuk's more of a paper tiger in this situation. He doesn't have much to stand on in terms of pay me $32 million. I'm Brandon Aiyuk. I've done it for 1 year. He doesn't have much to go on at all. Brandon Aiyuk, nobody's rushing to the bank to write a $32 million a year check. Brandon, your team's probably at least 1 or 2 million off your asking price, and they're not going to do anything. You either decide to go to a lesser team that needs you more, that's willing to overpay, or you buck up, decide to go to work for $1 million or 2 less and stop this madness. I'm tired of doing live streams on you, Brandon. I supported you the first 450 live streams. I think we need to put up on the board as soon as this is over how many live streams consecutive have happened without talking about Brandon Aiyuk, and see how many streams in a row we can get to before we have to mention this guy's name again as soon as this concludes. That's the news. There's not a whole bunch more to go over. If you missed it, this man, Jahan Dotson, was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. The impact of that is kind of wild and unknown, and we're digesting it still as we speak. I mean, Dotson's value, I don't think goes up tremendously at all. I think it kind of stays in a very murky area where it was, because he was kind of maybe losing his job as the number 2 wide receiver in Washington. Now he goes to be the number 3, which is not the number 2 in Philly. It's a great offense. They're both going to be high-octane passing attacks. Don't even think for a second that JD5 shouldn't be considered in a high-octane environment just like Jalen Hurts, but I don't know what to think. I just know that I'm not overreacting to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith at all. This is fine. Look, Johnny Wilson still might not relinquish the number 3 wide receiver role. Let's not get over carried away. This is a great depth move, maybe unneeded for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's a proof that the Eagles will do whatever it takes to win. They'll bring in Barkley. They'll sign both their stud wide receivers to massive new contracts, $84 million guaranteed to A.J. Brown. And now you've got them going and getting an unnecessary wide receiver just to make sure everything's copacetic if injury does strike. Dotson's a wait-and-see player, just like Ricky Pearsall is. If injury strikes one of Brandon Aiyuk or Debo, assuming both are on the roster, then that's where Ricky Pearsall becomes valuable. Waiver wire topic like crazy if Aiyuk or Debo goes down. Ricky Pearsall is going to be the top waiver wire pickup of that week. It's going to happen. Do you hold him? Can you hold him in a scenario where Aiyuk does stay and you got to roster this player on a what if an injury happens? Maybe not. That's why he does become a waiver wire potential grab. Same thing with Dotson. Does Dotson deserve to be rostered in every single league? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see how they talk about him, how they use him, what's the plan. But I think right now we're kind of in a same kind of Ricky Pearsall holding pattern. Pearsall, Dotson may have similar value. It may be elite waiver wire fodder later. As far as the impact on the Washington Commanders side, McLaurin to the moon, please. McLaurin to the moon. Ben Sinnott, can we get a Ben Sinnott to the moon, please? Ben Sinnott season's upon us. This guy's going nuts. And Eckler, a little bit of an Eckler bump, right? Potentially. I don't know. We'll see. And JD5, nothing matters to me. Luke McCaffrey bump. Luke McCaffrey sighting. Luke McCaffrey season might be in full effect, and I'm not worried about JD5 because it sounded like Dotson was not a part of the plan anyway. Nothing changes there. Lots of impact. Don't know how much it's really going to affect any one person all that much, except for maybe the vacated target side of this thing. Luke McCaffrey, Ben Sinnott, probably, and maybe Eckler and McLaurin are the true winners. I don't think it hurts JD5. I don't think it helps JD5. I don't think it hurts Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. I don't think it helps them. Maybe helps secure Hurts's value if injury strikes, but I don't think it affects his immediate value. So the only ones, the impact players, are the Washington Commander pass catchers, led by, in terms of most impacted, in order of which I think the pass catchers really are. McLaurin to the moon. Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey kind of tied as, who knows who does what, to the moon. These are great moves. Let's get to the wide receiver conversation. Again, Super Chats will be handled in order in which to receive. Phone lines will be open in a minute. And I just got to say here that we're looking at a arsenal of amazing wide receiver plays that if you're going into your draft and you say to yourself, Smitty, I would love to deploy a late wide receiver draft strategy. I would love to make my team look something like, let's say this. Let's say we're drafting Bijan in round 1. Let's say we're coming in strong. We're coming in hot with the Mahomey in round number 3. Okay? Let's say we get Achane in round number 2. This is going to require some ingenuity. This is going to require some massive cojones to come in here and say, I have not drafted a wide. I am Smitty. I am a running back and quarterback addict, and I have not drafted a wide receiver in 3 rounds. Why is that the case, Smitty? I'll tell you why that's the case. Because this man is not scared of doing so. This man's not scared at all of going with Little Tank Dell in round 4. This man's not scared of even going Kelsey here in round 4. Or if I went Josh Allen, let's say Josh Allen was to go here, I'm not scared to even deploy something along the lines of Josh Allen goes here. Where's my Josh Allen graphic when I need it? I got to pull him on here. I can't do this without Josh Allen. Josh Allen. There we go. Josh Allen goes, let's say, in round 3 if you get lucky enough to pull something like that off. And maybe you can't do that. Maybe it's something like this. I don't know. Every league's different. Every ADP is different. It's so crazy. And dare I say that this feels a little bit rich for Kincaid. Dare I say that 9 times out of 10, or let's call it 7 out of 10, you're going to get him here. So you still get to deploy the wide receiver in round 4 strategy in most scenarios. And the guy that is my favorite wide receiver to utilize this strategy with as my secret weapon, low-end wide receiver 1 that everybody says, your wide receivers are so weak. It's this right here. This is a fantastic win-a-league strategy. And if you don't like the Achane value for whatever crazy, strange, obscure, unacceptable reason, then let's go ahead and just put our boy Kyren in this spot as well. You don't like this, Achane? Fine. Okay, I can't convince you. I'm going to put Kyren right here. You don't like this? I can't help you. You don't like this? I can't help you. I don't know why you're here. If you don't like this approach, I don't know why you're here. I don't. And honestly, push comes to shove, probably my favorite maneuver right now, period, is maybe this one right here. I absolutely love deploying this strategy right now in fantasy football. This is one of my favorite plays right now. It's so lucrative. It's so hard hitting. It could potentially give you the most explosion spike week potential I've seen in some time. You've got the KC pass catching room minus the aging older Kelsey. So it would be nice to have Kelsey. Could I deploy something along the lines of taking, I don't even know if I have my Kelsey graphic anywhere. I will for the first time here have to write text in. But let's say you put Kelsey right here. Okay, let's just say you get ballsy and you say, Smitty, I'm not going wide receiver until round 5. I'm going to grab myself a Keon Coleman, Rice, and Worthy triple stack. I'm fine with this. You can make fun of the wide receivers all you want, but when they're going to score 10 touchdowns each, when Coleman's scoring 10 touchdowns, how dumb is it going to look for the person that makes fun of this situation. I'm not saying this is a necessity. I personally would rather go with the Tank Dell special. Okay, the Tank Dell special for me does me more good. It tickles my fancy just a little bit more. This right here's a league winner. And for the Bob that comes in and says, Smitty, I just can't believe you think your wide receivers are going to hang. My wide receivers, Tank Dell led, Rashee Rice led, Worthy led with Coleman in there, are going to destroy everyone considering my quarterback and running back stable. This is a winner. This smashes. We're going to the moon with this team, and it all starts with this crew right here. And Keon Coleman needs to be added to this list as well. Of course he does. Where's my boy Keon when I need him? Here we go. So, I don't know. My favorites, I don't know what my favorites are. My favorites are probably Coleman. I like Ridley and Thomas a lot, but I'm going to say these are my 4 favorites. If you're talking about late grabs, it's Worthy, Rice, honestly, together, Coleman and Dell. These are the league-winning wide receiver 3 / maybe late 2 or like borderline high-end 2s, but guys that should be considered as 2s. Rice has been climbing. Dell is considered often a wide receiver 3 to a lot of people. Like, Smitty, you can't possibly like Dell in round 4. Watch me. Watch me.
To the moon.
Watch me.
Let him cook.
Sorry, I had to grab a drink real quick. I thought I had a little time. But yeah, the KC Chief Arsenal.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
All right, there you go. There you go. News. We got Lamb. We got Aiyuk. There's a little bit of AR5 news. I don't know if I put this on my screen just yet, but there's some chatter about AR5 right now that is not flattering to AR5. I don't necessarily care about it. I just wanted to address it because I think some of you might be affected by the AR5 crap talk right now that's going around the league, going around Twitter, really. But AR5 is being talked about as a player that can't throw downfield. He can't read defenses. In the scrimmage this guy just had, defensive backs were making fun of him, saying he's throwing to spots and not players, and that he all he does is run, and people are ripping on him left and right. You know what I love more than anything? A player that feels like they've got a lot to prove. You know what I love? A player that's probably one of the most athletic players to ever come out of college. Some would say he is by far and away the most athletic player to come out of college. This 200... Ziggy, how tall is Anthony Richardson?
Anthony Richardson weighs 244 pounds and is 6 feet 4 inches tall.
6 feet 4, 244 pounds. I want to say he's more like 255 and 6 foot 5.5. At least in my animations, he's 8 feet tall. AR5 is look, he's raw. He's still got a lot of learning to do. What's crazy is he's essentially, in terms of playing games, he's still like he's 3 games ahead of JD5. This is still a rookie in a sense that had a lot of mental learning he could do and growth, but he's still very much going to be learning on the job. There's going to be mistakes. Yeah, AR5's got to be 6'5". I don't know what Ziggy. I don't think Ziggy. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, you are. You're definitely wrong. Dell round 5, John. Of course, if you could pull that off, round 5. That's what I was saying earlier. That you oftentimes will get people to make fun of this. They'll say, Dell, why would you do? Okay, fine. If I can get Dell over here, then that means I can do something like this. wait, you wouldn't take a wide receiver? I might take a Deebo Samuel if I'm in a grandma league and he falls. I mean, this happens sometimes where Mahomes will fall. It really just depends on what league you're in. But, you know, give me a wide receiver here in 4. Give me a DK. Give me a Devontae Smith. With the panic on Devontae Smith now, Dare I say that we can pull off something like this because of everybody losing their mind on this Dotson trade? Everybody acting like Devontae Smith is going to go down in value. Dare I say that this is possible? How about this? For anybody that thinks you can't pull this off, I got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. We got victory coming over here on this side of the fence. People getting coffees left and right for people on this channel because of what we're going to do in the gym, in the lab, in the fantasy football lab space. Look at what we're cooking up. How do you not win your league with Devontae Smith and Tank Dell? How do you not win your league with Devontae Smith and Tank Dell in round 4 and 5? If you can pull this off in your grandma league. Again, for anybody saying, yeah, Dell goes here, Dell goes here. You don't know where Dell goes. Stop acting like you know where Dell goes. Dell goes in round 5. Dell goes in round 5 in this format, on that platform. He goes in round 4 in this format, on this platform. Mahomes goes in round 3 or round 2 on this platform. Every platform is different. I got to cater to everybody now, which I don't have a problem because I've got the solution. There's a solution to this problem. It's not that hard. Glory. And again, the last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to open the phone lines up again. Super chats, have them fly in, and I'll answer in order which they're received. I think that the bottom line is this: when we start talking about, what is this, Smitty? What is this? Running back, QB. It's the tripod, and we've discussed this. The mother freaking pod.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting one of Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts to go with one of these round 1 running backs and one of these running backs in round 2. The tripod.
It's pretty easy, boys. It's pretty easy. All right, hit me with it. We'll find out what's going on with Fields. I love when people say Fields overthrew that receiver. Tell me you don't know ball. Tell me you don't know ball without telling me. Fields absolutely had nothing to work with, which is why we think maybe behind closed doors the Steelers are going, let's get Aiyuk, because we need to help this guy out. But it wasn't like everybody, he was running with all the ones anyway, but they definitely need to make sure they help Fields out. But I love when people that don't know ball say that Fields was overthrowing players, like in that end zone play. It's like people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. I heard over here on this channel that Fields overthrew his wide receiver in the end zone. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Let's go with the phone lines. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Hopefully we can answer your call and help you win your league and make you 8 feet tall. Let me move all this out of the way. AR5 is definitely a topic of I don't want to say concern for many, but I'm not worried. And at the cost of entry, you're not really risking the biscuit with AR5. But I will say that there's a reason why when I play this right here and I show you the supernovas, I initially did have on my top 5 picks AR5. And I didn't remove them because of the situation that everybody's kicking around on Twitter because of what's being said. Mute yourself, Nick and Ron, real quick. I'll come for you in a second. But what I'm playing right here in a second was completely concluded before any of that. So it was just a matter of identifying a different player or two for my best 5 picks in fantasy football. Love AR5. He's smashing. He's a Mars man extraordinaire for a reason. And I'm emphasizing over and over, do not be worried like people are trying to make you feel worried. There's risk with him. There's certainly risk with him. He's still very young. He's 3 games in to his career. He's going to go up and down and be kind of a raw talent that's developing. But he isn't on my top 5. But that, again, has nothing to do with that. He's still in my top 10 of some of the most fantastic value you can have. But here are the supernovas. What are the supernovas? Smitty, what is this supernova you're talking about? I know you got Mars Man, Saturn Man, and Moon Man. It's basically me saying, regardless of what list they're on, these are my 5 favorite from the 3 consolidated lists, and they're called the supernovas.
There are Saturn, Mars, and Moon Men, but only 5 can become supernovas. I give you the 5 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 5 supernovas.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
I'd love to know if that bass line, that slapping bass line, is rocking someone's like apartment right now. Can anybody let me know if that thing is rocking around the walls? What is this comment here? What is this comment from Angus? What's the difference between AR5 and Jaden Daniels? I mean, probably that one of them is one of the Jaden Daniels, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the National Football League, and he's never even played a regular season snap. Probably that this guy is a generational talent beyond even AR5. That's the difference between them. And he's a 5. He's a 5. Ron Navy, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up? What can I do? What do you hear?
So here's the thing about I'll even throw my thing out there about the Dotson trade. Yeah, Washington could be like behind the scenes doing something, but
Maybe.
who are they going to give up? Because Frisco wants a player in return. I mean, if they would have like offered maybe Dotson up to Frisco.
Yeah, we talked about that on the live stream. We broke that down.
So,
Yeah.
But here's my thought though. What if, because you got another great GM out there, what if Howie pulls a freaking something out where he got Dotson to make a trade with Frisco and Aiyuk ends up in Philly?
I don't think Dotson's got that kind of pull, bro. And when's the last time? It's a cool theory, but like when's the last time a receiver or a player was traded and then used in another trade? I mean, it's very unlikely.
Well,
but it's creative. It's creative. I'll give you that.
Instead, they have a couple other wide receivers. They're thinking, might be something. Maybe they give Frisco one of those receivers.
Yeah, I don't think.
To do something like
yeah,
that.
but imagine paying 3 wide receivers the amount of money you're paying AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Brandon Aiyuk. I don't think they can afford to do that. Anyway, I would say this to your other point, that Dotson, maybe if the Commanders were gonna make another offer, they would have offered Dotson to the Niners. But I don't know that maybe the Niners had zero interest. They already rejected Dotson in a trade topic. And so they said, let's go acquire some more picks, and then that way we're giving up a second and a third or whatever. At least we're replenishing our pick pool a little bit, because there's not many things that Adam Peters, the GM of the Washington Commanders, likes more than draft picks because he smashes the hell out of his picks. He's such a great scout. So it could be a preemptive load up of picks, or it could be they're using those picks to trade away to go get Aiyuk, or it could be that this is Adam Peters just collecting draft picks and they don't like where Dotson fits into this situation. Maybe he's got something, we don't know about yet upstairs where he's a difficult person. AB unraveled very slowly. I'm not calling Dotson AB. I'm just saying no one knew AB was going to be like the way he was. Diggs kind of unfolded slowly too. I'm not saying Dotson's there. I'm just saying we don't know the inner workings of the locker room and how the dynamic is. Maybe JD5 and Dotson didn't get along. Maybe Dotson's like entitled and he's like, I'm number one. I should have got, fed last year. Are you going to, maybe he's got some weird attitude problem. I don't know. I didn't get that vibe from Dotson, but apparently Dotson doesn't fit in. But I think just getting rid of him doesn't necessarily mean the Niners wanted him in a trade. So we're not really sure what's going on. I think, as I said on the earlier live stream, and I could be wrong, this is my guess, just like you got a guess, and you might hear something in Pittsburgh that I haven't heard yet. But my guess is that Aiyuk is trying to like everything on social media because apparently he's liking this Steelers picture, graphic. He's liking that over here. He's trying to get all this drama drummed up so he can just get the Niners to up their offer because he thinks he's making things ultra uncomfortable, and he is. He's making things really uncomfortable for the Niners, and the Niners are in shambles right now. They've got Trent Williams still not signed. The Niner communities are saying all kinds of stuff like he just wanted to skip training camp. He's coming back in. No, he wants money. He wants money, and you got to pay him. And he's a big boy that's older that may have injury problems from holding out. You got McCaffrey with the calf injury. Kittle had lost 30 pounds in the offseason. Apparently he's healthy, but there's so much worry here. And if Aiyuk does come back, he's very injury prone and he's going to be out of sync and out of tune. I don't know what the Niners are doing. All I know is the Niners are in shambles. Some of it they can't control because it's older players and injuries, but they have to do something because if they just sit on their hands, they're going to be so unprepared for week one. I think at this point, it's like we might take a loss bigger than we thought. And we screwed up at the beginning of the year. They certainly did. Absolutely. This is the Niners' fault. But Aiyuk is throwing a lot of fuel on the fire too. But it doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. That's now. The Niners screwed this up. And I mapped this out at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the offseason, saying, watch the Niners absolutely diarrhea the bet on this. And they absolutely did. This is the worst situation. The Niners are not prepared for the season. They're favored in every game. I don't even know if that's true anymore. They're favored in every game, and they're going to be so unprepared for week one. And now they need to cut ties with this situation if they can't clean it up quickly. They either need to bite the bullet and say, we screwed up, give them $30 million, 30.4, 30.0, whatever the case may be. And that's not even the number that's real important. The number that's important is the guaranteed money. So give him the guaranteed money that he wants. We screwed up. Bring him in. Let's fix this as quickly as we can. Or they trade him to the Steelers and move on so you can put Pearsall where he needs to go. But Pearsall keeps getting banged up. I don't know, the Niners, maybe they wanted to do that and they backed out because they're like, Pearsall can't stay healthy. Like, what in the hell are we going to do? But you know who I like real quickly, Ron, and I'll let you respond? Cowing. Cowing is very good. If the Niners were, just listen and hear me out. I know a lot of you are going to be like, no way, Smitty, he's unknown. If the Niners just said, screw it, we're going to roll with Cowing and Pearsall. And Cowing might be better than Pearsall. The way Cowing looked in that preseason game, I know it was preseason, but physically, the way he moved, how fluid he was, reminded me a lot of like Puka Nacua in a way in terms of how he maneuvered the field and space and grabbed the ball, used his body. I really like Cowing. I think that the Niners are messing up by not moving on and preparing with what they have because it's still good enough. They've got more arsenal than anybody. Like, that's my take.
Can I interrupt?
I've actually heard.
Let Ron respond, and then who is it that said they want to interrupt? Is that Nick or Alex?
Yeah, I got my draft in 9 minutes. I'm just trying to get in a quick question.
Okay, get your question in. Go ahead. Who is this? What's your name?
I have the second pick in a 10-team half PPR.
Is this Nick or Alex?
Who should I get, and what should my strategy be on the 2-3 turn, in your opinion?
Is this Nick or Alex?
Nick.
Nick. Okay, Nick, you have the what pick?
I have the number 2 pick in a half PPR 10-team league.
The number 2 pick in a half PPR 10-team league. You're wanting to know what to do at the 2-3 turn.
Well, what's my first pick and my second and third pick? Like, what would your best strategy be?
What is the likelihood that Kyren or Achane or both would fall to the 2-3 turn picks? And this is a 10-team league, so 10. So there's a lot.
It's a Yahoo. I'm not sure. It's a bunch of random people.
Can you look at the ADP data? Can you look at the suggested rank? The pre-rank list should tell you where they're ranking.
I think it said, let's see, Achane is at 25 and Kyron's at 18.
Whew, that's cutting close, man. I'd be very tempted to say, you can either go Bijan and take the chance that you're stuck in a running back situation, which I don't care. I'm so fine with that. You're going to get Tank Dell, DK, Devontae Smith. You're going to get 2 of those guys anyway. I really don't care. But you could take Bijan and get one of those guys and go RB. That would be my preference. And the reason I do that is it's a 10-man league. Not only are wide receivers way more plentiful and available in a non-best ball, but especially a 10-man league, and the running backs are hot commodities. I'm going after Mahomes, Hurts, or Josh Allen, and I'm going after RBs, and I'm going to smash the wide receivers. There's no doubt about it. So my strategy, bro, if you wanted to go a little balanced because you're a nervous Nelly and you're going to be up at night like just sweating because you don't have balance, then go Hill or Lamb. I think Hill is the safest given Chase and Lamb are both holding out right now. So Hill, and then try and land Achane and Kyren. Try and land Barkley and Kyren. Barkley and Achane. But Bijan, and then taking your chances that you're left with both those running backs and you have to take both of them, I'm fine with that too. I think that's my approach. I make sure I grab one of the big 3 quarterbacks if they're there in round 4. I'd even consider it at 21 if the board didn't fall properly. But at 20 and 21, it probably will.
Say if I go Tyreek number 2 and then Achane's available at the 2 turn, would you go Hill and Achane? Is that too much Miami offense?
I mean, I just told you I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd take Hill and Achane and Kyren if I can pull it off. It's not too much because it's a 10-man league. Everyone's team's going to be loaded. You need difference makers, bro. You need the RBs. You need to have the quality top-shelf RBs and a top-shelf quarterback because everyone's team is going to be lit in a 10-team.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right, later, Nick. All right, go ahead, Ron. Maybe continue, then I'll go over to Alex.
Oh, now I kind of like, what was I going to say?
I can answer these 3 super chats while you think if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, 10-man PPR, rate my team: Mahomes, Hall, Achane, Garrett Wilson, London, Bowers, benches, Neighbors, Aaron Jones, Dell. Very good squad. My suggestions would be ride this team into the flames and well, I shouldn't say it like that. Ride it into the glory. This team's great. Like, what are you gonna do? Neighbor. I mean, maybe you trade Aaron Jones and Neighbors for a top 5 wide receiver or running back. I mean, maybe you trade Bowers and I don't know, Bowers and I mean, you got Rice. I want to get Rice into my lineup. I don't know how you really even improve this team. I would have had all of the backups though. That I would have done. I mean, you got so much depth. You got Dell and Rice on your bench. You really don't need. I mean, I love Jameson Williams too. I would rather have Mostert and Kyren. You don't have Hall. Braylon Allen. I like Braylon Allen a lot. You got so much depth, bro. I don't think there's anything you need to do. I would just ride this into the season because you're gonna smash. Keep an open mind to trades that come your way, but I don't think I want to get rid of any of those starters. I would just maybe try and upgrade Bowers using Neighbors into a top flight tight end. Maybe you take Kelsey and you ride that out for one more year. I like Bowers, but I'm certainly interested in upgrading there. Jameson got offered Jameson Williams for Dotson. I'd take Jameson Williams in a millisecond over Dotson, bro. Jamo's the number 2 in a very, very solid passing attack, and Dotson's maybe not even the number 3. Either way, either side of the fence, he wouldn't have been potentially. So that's not even a question. Jameson, smash it, bro. Do it live. Roach, appreciate you. $5 hauler. 12 home league QB, JD5, T-Log, Garrett Wilson, London, Waddle, Keon, Adunze, Bijan, Ramondre, Warren, Pollard, McBride, Kincaid. Should I trade for a running back too? Love JD5. I love London, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Keon, Adunze. You're loaded at wide receiver. Assuming you don't start all these wide receivers in like a 2 or 3 flex, additionally two wide receivers and 2 running backs. I'm going to say, yeah, you got a little bit of a hole at the RB2. Potentially. I like Ramondre, but he's more of a flex play for me. I like Warren later, but he's not the starter yet, and he's injured. So, yeah, I definitely... You got McBride and Kincaid. I don't know why you have both tight ends. Like, why you drafted. If you're only starting one, I would definitely try and trade one. I don't mind starting both of them, one in your flex, but, like, bro, you're loaded. So, it's not like you can even fit him in. I would trade Ramondre and one of the tight ends. I try and trade, if you can't trade for one better player at wide receiver, let's say, or running back, I'd try and trade. I mean, I'd even upgrade Waddle. I'd go Waddle to a top 3 or 4 or 5 wide receiver using the tight end. That's what I would probably do with your team. Your team is very, very good, broski. Very, very solid. You got a lot to work with, too. And you don't have to do everything before week 1. Know that you can wait, let the tight ends blow up a little bit, and then trade them in week 2. Everybody's got to stop trying to do all their moves before week 1, and then they sell out a little bit on the value because they think they got to have it all ready for week 1, as if week 1 decides everything. Like, sometimes patience is needed. Rate your team: Holmes, Hall, Achane, Garrett Wilson. Oh, I just read that one. Very, very good team, Dylan. Appreciate you. This here from... the AR 2503. Appreciate your $1.99 and an additional super chat. Got offered Tank Dell for Saquon. No, Saquon's got way more value, bro. Saquon's a top 14 overall player, and Tank Dell's a 4th to 5th rounder. I love Tank Dell, but bro, you need to be getting Tank Dell and Jacobs for Saquon. Like, that guy's trying to absolutely... This is one of the worst offers I've ever seen.
You are offer sex. You are great offer sex.
One of the worst offers I've seen, at least in weeks. Ron Navy, do you remember what you wanted to say?
So, yeah, I heard the same thing about that wide receiver for the Mac. They've been talking a lot about it on Niners channels, like I've heard, about how impressive he's looking, that young wide receiver. But Cowing looks great, bro. I really, as much as I love Ricky Parasol, we're adjust and adapt. We're an adjust and adapt people. That's what we are. We always need to remain on our toes. And this would go for Caleb, which I'm not. Everyone thinks I should be adjusting, adapting on Caleb yet. We're talking about the preseason. Calm down. Calm down on an offense that keeps unfolding. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Another 3 and out, but he ran the ball. I am an adjust and adapt person. I promise you, the moment I think, if I ever do, that Caleb's actually going to be viable for fantasy, even though I still don't necessarily believe he's ever going to be the leader people think he's going to be, the GOAT, the next Mahomes, which is ridiculous. But I will adjust and adapt. I promise you. That's what I do best. I really do. I don't dig my heels in on things I don't believe in. Some people say, Smitty, you dig your heels in all the time. That's because I truly believe what I'm digging my heels in on. Remember Achane? How much doubt came for Achane when he started to tail off, and I was like, okay, he's too injury prone. He's not going to bounce back. And I said, Achane. That was not digging my heels in because I felt I had put too much out there in terms of me saying this and that and the other. I will backtrack, not because I'm a backtracker, but because I'm an adjust and adapt specialist for you. It's my job. And I'm telling you, the reason I'm even saying that, as much as I like Ricky Parasol, and we've been pumping Ricky Parasol up, if Cowing got into the lineup, he could be just as good. He might even be better
potentially. I know I'm putting the cart before the horse a little bit. I still need to see more of him, but I got a weird feeling when I watched him play. And I said to myself, like, this guy looks like he matured a lot because his film didn't really pop as much as it should have. I liked him. He's good. There's a lot of talent there. But Cowing looked phenomenal. And it was some of the maneuvers and mannerisms and the ways he goes about controlling the space around him and his control, body control. I love Cowing. I think Cowing has a lot of upside. Sorry, Ron, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Oh, Travis earlier, he tried to push my button, but it didn't work. I saw it, Travis. He said Steelers screwed up by not including the player in their offer.
They might have, Ron. They might have.
Real movie said.
How is that?
No.
How is that pushing your buttons though? I think that could be true, because the Steelers report. The reports are there's multiple reports, but one of the most recent reports is that the Steelers were not offering a player.
That's fine. They're either gonna fleece the 49ers or they're okay with not getting Aiyuk. Doesn't matter.
But I mean, how is that? But how is it just because you're right and that's what they're going to try and do? If they miss out on Aiyuk and Aiyuk is supposed to be a Steeler, it should have happened. Like maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you're like, God, take it or leave it. But if somebody does feel like, okay, we need to do this at all costs as a Steeler fan or whatever, then it kind of could be a mistake. You know, why not throw Calvin Austin in? What do you need Calvin Austin for when you have Pickens and Aiyuk at this point? Make the move. Just throw Austin in. So I'm not saying I totally agree with your stance, but like I don't think that's pushing buttons.
49ers might not want Austin.
Well, I know, but
might not be
okay.
49ers want. We don't know what they're doing behind the scenes.
Well, right, but I think not offering. If you said yourself, the Niners want a player back, and we don't know that for sure either, but we're pretty sure. And we're pretty sure, according to at least the last two reports, that the Steelers were not offering a wide receiver back. So, I mean, I don't think there's buttons being pushed. I think that it really is maybe teeter-tottering on that, and they should try and push it over the edge. If I'm a Steeler fan, Ron, I want them to push it over the edge.
They don't want to pay the money that he's asking for and give up one of their players. They're fine with not getting Aiyuk.
Well,
that doesn't mean they're damn promoted.
And Ron, that might be.
This is our offer. This is our offer, and this is it. And that doesn't mean it's amateur.
And that might be why things don't get different, don't turn into something different this year.
So to call him amateur, I think is kind of.
Well, you hate Tomlin. You hate Tomlin, and if Tomlin's not pulling the trigger over Calvin Austin, I would think you'd be in here yelling and screaming about it. Like I honestly believe they should be pushing it over the edge.
I like Khan. I trust Khan. I don't like Tomlin. I can like the GM and not like the head coach.
No, I know, but I'm not agreeing with Travis here. I'm agreeing with both your stances, but I don't think it's crazy or trying to push buttons to say that like the Niners should be pushing this over the edge. That's an opinion, and I agree with it. I think the Steelers. I think the Steelers have a chance of having a team that can win multiple playoff games if they bring Aiyuk in. If he can even stay healthy at this point. I mean, maybe at this point I'm like, screw it. He's been out so long, he's going to get hurt. But I think to not give up a wide receiver and to try and play hardball and to miss out on this opportunity and then go into the season without Aiyuk, that's a whole different situation. Like, I'd much rather have Aiyuk. This team is phenomenal walking into this season. So, John, mute yourself if you could. I don't think being stubborn right now as the Steelers, on the Steelers side of this is good. I think they should push it over. If a wide receiver is the requirement and they're feeling really apprehensive about Ricky Pearsall being banged up, send him a wide receiver. I don't know why you wouldn't. But that's me. Are there any new local buzz pieces on this right now? I mean, everybody wants to make a name for themselves. We've already made that abundantly clear that everybody's just throwing mud at the wall.
J.J. Watt says he'd play another year considering, and he wants to play with his brother. So there's a possibility that, the Steelers just signed some people, but there's a possibility they could sign JJ and use him in a not an every down situation, and they could end up signing JJ Watt.
All right, hold on, Ron. Let me circle around the phone line, which is pretty packed right now. Alex from
I'm gonna get out.
All right, Ron, appreciate you. Later. Alex from Pennsylvania. What's up?
What's up, dude?
What can I do for you?
All right. 10-man PPR league.
Keep it quick, bro.
All right.
You're already dragging.
Yeah, 7 picks, right? So it's either Sun God or Jamar Chase that are going to get picked because the top 5 is the top 5. We all know who that is. So I'm at 7. So say if Jamar Chase goes, do I just get Sun God?
I mean, it's not a bad pick, but I'm like, is Breece Hall gone for sure?
Well, yeah, like top 5 is top 5, right? Like I'm saying, like
I don't know,
like in no order. Like
I mean, top 5 is different everywhere. So I don't know that. Top 5 is always like all over the place. But I don't hate going AJ Brown.
5, you have those 3 receivers. Like I don't see Jamar Chase going top 5. I don't see Justin Jefferson going top 5. I don't see Sun Guy going top 5. Because, like, you look at Breece with the offensive line and the offense. You look at Bijan with everything that Atlanta's
Bro,
done.
I'm telling you, it's all over the map. It's all over the map. You got to be prepared for everything. The top 5 is not the top 5. The top 5 is all over the map.
Well, the only guy I could see fall would be Bijan.
Well, then you take him if he's there.
And that's just... I mean, no, dude, if Bijan's there at 7, and if I have a choice between Bijan and Sun God, I'm 100% going Bijan. The only thing is that I don't want to like draft the same position twice. I want to go like receiver, running back, no matter what.
See, that's
like my second question.
That's
my second question, I'll let you go. Do I go? So say if I get Sun God, should I go Gibbs or Kyron? Or if I get Jamar Chase, should I go Gibbs or Kyron? If they're there.
I love all of those, but I would not say no matter what you're going a position because you don't know what falls, But I would say this: 9 times or 10 times out of 10. If you are going wide receiver, the best player available will almost 100% be Kyron or Achane or Barkley or one of those guys anyway, so you'll be covered with your thinking. But definitely wouldn't do something no matter what. You don't know what the board looks like. I would
Gibbs or Kyron though.
I would probably say Kyron and then cuff him. Make sure you cuff him, but by a hair.
Yeah.
I love both of them. Achane's up there too. I'd take Achane there in a second.
I think I could possibly get Achane in the 3rd round. Well, but I'm at 7. I wish I had an earlier pick.
Bro, Achane, I don't see how. I said not if they watch this channel. Achane is like, I don't even understand how he fall into the 3rd round at this point in a non-PPR.
Well, that's just from
He's
the
going in the
draft,
top 15.
But like, if I don't get Achane, I might just get Jacobs.
Too early for me in the 2nd round.
Too early, yeah, too early. So, like, if I miss out on Achane, maybe I just don't get my quarterback. But even like the quarterbacks I've been seeing that they've been dropping.
Jacobs
like,
in the 3rd round's okay.
And like when you're
Yeah.
you're in a real draft, and it's like guys are like, okay, let me just get this guy. I don't want someone because then like
don't
you
trust
actually
the mock
have the
draft.
fear of someone taking your picks. You know?
Yeah, the mock draft data is like a 15-year-old kid waiting for the meatloaf in his mom's basement, and he quits the draft in the 4th round every time, and reruns it. Like, asking me how many mock drafts I've done this offseason. I'll answer. I'll just answer.
Yeah, you've probably done a million of them.
No, 2. I've done 2.
Oh, okay.
You know why?
You know why? Just get a good sense of like who's going to be where.
No, but it doesn't. That's what you're not listening. You know why I haven't done 2? I've only done 2 mock drafts because I do real drafts, and not everybody can afford to do that, or not everybody is in a state where they can do best ball drafts. But I would much rather deploy an actual mock draft per se that costs $3 that could win me, $10,000, $20,000 every time I do it. And so my point is this. My point isn't like, oh, yay for me, celebrate me. I can go do these mock drafts. I'm not trying to say that. Not everybody can even afford to do that. So I'm not saying it's a requirement. But what I'm trying to explain to you is nobody's mock drafting anymore, bro. The ballers aren't mock drafting. The very good drafters have moved on to, I'm just going to play in a league every time I draft. And so the problem is you don't have me mock drafting. You don't have about 80% of this channel mock drafting anymore. No one's mock drafting. So that data is a ghost town. That data is being driven into the ground with no conductor on the train. And so you can't even trust it. You don't even know what the data means anymore. Because the real true people drafting.
I don't see Achane going in the second round, right? Even like, I don't know if I see him go in the second round. Like, second round's deep.
I can't
deep
believe
second round.
2 mock drafts. All right. Hey, got to go, bro. Good luck. Let us know how you do.
Thank you.
I have a feeling he's not hearing me fully on anything, but I still appreciate him. Alex to the moon. Alex to the moon. John, you're live, then over to the Redwood, then over to Fitzy, then over to Josh from Cali. John, you're live. Go.
Hey, man, what's your take on Higgins this year as this Chase hold-in keeps developing? He's, by all accounts, having just an amazing camp, one of the best of his career. He's playing for a contract. He's developed with Burrow, and with that Shadow Chosenko interview where he thinks Chase is coming back, but there's a non-0% chance Chase misses some games while he's holding out. So how has Higgins moved for you this offseason?
I mean, Higgins, Chase could even come back and get hurt, and all that. So there's a lot of factors in play. I am an adjust and adapt person, as I just mapped out, and I admit that Higgins has not been on my radar all offseason, but I'm starting to get excited about him. I'm starting to think that no matter what, there's going to be volume for him. He is looking good. He's playing for money. That's always motivating. And honestly, I'm starting to really like his value. But with the Jamar Chase thing lingering, we could see, as soon as I start to get my hands on the situation and go, I'm starting to like Higgins right now, his value is going to probably climb and skyrocket, because every day we get closer to the season, I bet his ADP is going to be pulled up and Jamar Chase's is going to drop, and then I might be out again. But for right now, in general, I would say yes, very excited about the value that Higgins now holds. And I didn't always feel that way this offseason. This is definitely a change in direction for me, because I've always been like, no, he's the number 2. I like him, but I don't want to draft him, because I hate drafting number 2s on teams. And someone might say, what about Dell? It's because Dell, to me, is a number 1. Go ahead. What else you got?
A kind of similar question with Ken Walker. He's someone I wasn't really targeting a ton going into the offseason, but everything out of this coaching staff, all they do is talk about how he's their guy. He can catch passes. They want to use him all over the place. What's your take on him, and where would you kind of look to draft Ken Walker if, for example, you missed out on H-Fan and Bijan? What's
my take on Ken Walker?
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
I know you're a Ken Walker fan, but has that made us climb at all with all the recent coach speak?
Well, that's I mean,
the Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Yeah, Walker, we've been talking this up a lot. Like, you may have missed these episodes, but Walker, every chance Ryan Grubb and the gang talk about him, it's 3 down back. He can do everything. He can catch. Ryan Grubb's he traditionally kind of uses one running back for the most part, historically speaking. Ryan Grubb getting a guy this talented, who we've called a space monster from the beginning of the Moonman, Marsman, and Saturnman list. He was the first person ever to hit the Moonman. So Walker, can't wait to see what he does. This is the first time he'll not only be used dynamically, thrown to, but probably not come off the field all that much. And the whole production of last year in weeks 1 through 5, where he was every bit as good as we promoted, every bit as good. He's 3 years in a row been on the moon. Who's got their speaker on? And everybody mute, please, or I'll hang up on all of you. There's got some reverb going on in the background. Everybody please mute their phone. I very much love Walker. Walker is very crafty. I don't like taking him too early. I think when people take him in round 2, it's a little bit messy, doesn't package in a lot of risk. It sucks to see him go in the 6th round in best ball right now, 5-6 round territory, and then go to non-best ball and he goes in 2. And you just it takes a little bit of the allure out of it, because you're so used to some, cost of entry that's beautiful. And it's wild that he goes at such a different, clip, but I still love him in 3. still love him in 3. 3, 4, really. But 2, it's a little bit early. But I think he's going to have a breakout year. That's why he's on the Moon Man list. All right. All right, man. Appreciate you. Got to go. Later. Let's go over to, who did I say was going next? Was it Fitzy? Go ahead, Fitzy. Actually, Fitzy, can you hold on one second? Mute real quick. Let me just get through these real quick. Omar, $2 holler. Nothing attached, but I appreciate you dropping that $2 holler, Omar. Omar to the motherfreaking moon. Rockout says check your DMs. Rockout, thank you. I will do that as soon as I can here. E-Rock, $5 holler. Trade Terry with the trade lurking or with the trade lurking. He's Dotson's as good as gone. Or hold strong. Essentially having the 6 under vaporized by a Aiyuk trade would suck. Trade Terry. I don't know what this means. Trade Terry. You're saying trade Scary Terry? I don't know if there's another question somewhere, but E-Rock, if you could clarify that one for me. What you trade JJ for would I trade? I think you mean to say, would I trade JJ for MHJ and Scary Terry? In a dynasty, hell yeah, I think I would rather have MHJ. But in a redraft, I don't know. It depends on your other wide receiver. Probably say I still like JJ a little bit more just because I think where we're buying him, he's perfect at. Like 6, 7, 8 overall. Or no, 7, 8, 9 overall. Like I don't think he's worth the 5 or 6 anymore or whatever. But like 7, 8, 9 overall. And that's still going ahead of MHJ. Like I'm not saying I don't like JJ. I'm saying I don't like JJ at 5 or 6. But I still love him at his cost of entry, and I still think that's higher. And I don't know that McLaurin kicks it over unless you've got a total vacancy at wide receiver. Let's see here. Damon with this $5 holler. Smitty, rate my team. Mahomes, Gibbs, Kyron Mostert, Chase Brown, Quorum. Love it. Benson, London, Dell. Awesome team. McBride. Love it. Should I drop Benson for right? You probably, if you've got, do you have H-An here? You don't have H-An. You just have Kyron Mostert. I definitely would probably consider that right now. I can't believe that's all you could. You can't drop anybody else. You could always drop a kicker for right now and wait to buy yourself a little bit of time and then head into that. Omar, appreciate your $2 holler again, pal. All right, go ahead, Fitzy. I'm sorry about the wait.
Appreciate you. I was going to ask about taking Jahan and Mahomes for 3 rounds of a 10-man keeper.
What are we saying, bro? Say it one more time.
Oh, you're talking about the tripod. So, like,
okay.
In a 10-man, like, is it too early to take H-An and Mahomes when Allen is still on the board? Josh Allen?
No, not at all. I think that there's some tremendous value in Josh Allen and Mahomes. I honestly think, Mahomes is my favorite pick in fantasy, but because his cost of entry is later, but they really are equal to me if his cost of entry moves up to Josh Allen.
Well, I have the 3rd pick, so it's like I would have an early 3rd, and I could pick Mahomes there, so it seems kind of early for that in a 10-man, but...
It does, but it's worth it. It's worth it, bro. Is it a 6 point per TD? Is it 6 point per TD league or what?
Nah, it's 4.
I still think it's worth it. I still think he's going to absolutely ball out. You pair him up with, and I'm not a huge redraft, non-best ball cuffing kind of guy with the wide receivers, but I think that this offense is so potent. You get Worthy and Rice with it downstream, and it's going to be amazing. But Josh Allen has been QB1, the last 4 years. QB1, QB2, QB1, QB1. Mahomes has also been pretty damn good, but hasn't been as good. He was QB7, and then 2 years ago he was QB1. So this year he struggled, QB7. But he's been 1, 4, 3, and 1. Like, they're both amazing. And I just think that Mahomes is going to go on a tear. I'm okay with Josh Allen, too, though. Josh Allen...
Yeah, I think Mahomes is in a better position this year.
I like them both. I don't think you can go wrong. But I don't think it's a mistake. 10-team leagues are, I think, won by the difference makers like that. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and then having RBs.
Right.
All right, bro.
I appreciate it.
All right, later. Let's go to Redwood. Redwood, you're live.
Hey, how you doing, Smitty?
What's up, Redwood? What can I do for you, Redwood?
I was just wondering what you think about like the Dotson trade. Like, do you think that it's possible that they might have done that because that they're thinking about going for Aiyuk or something like that?
Well, that's what we led with the show on. So there's about 20 minutes of that. Rewatch that. But in a nutshell, in a nutshell. Hey, Smitty, can you redo the show? In a nutshell, we don't know. We're just guessing. We have no clue. Part of what we're all thinking is, why didn't they offer a trade that included Dotson? Because they want a wide receiver back. So it makes you think maybe they're not doing a trade for sure. But then you're like, okay, maybe they've opened up space. That also makes sense. Nobody knows. And Aiyuk is on social media liking both Pittsburgh Steeler posts that talk about him being a Steeler, and also he's liking posts that talk about him being a Commander. So it goes both ways. He's just trying to drum up some drama so that the Niners up their ante.
Okay, and then like the other part of that question, I'm not sure if you addressed this either, is just how do you feel about the trade? What Washington receiving?
Yeah, go rewatch the show, bro, because I've already broken all this down. I'm sorry, but everyone's gonna be like, bro, yeah, go rewatch it. If you might put you on hold if you got another question, I'll put you on hold. Think of something else and come back. Josh from Cali.
What up, Smitty? Hey, brother. Who are you taking? McLaurin or Tank Dell right now?
Tank Dell. I like both of them, but they're a good like round or two apart for me.
All right. Right on. Still even with the trade. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, while the show's been on, man, I don't know if you caught the preseason game. AR5, man. Oof. Looking rough for him today.
Yeah,
worries or no?
A lot of people are talking about AR5 right now and suggesting that he can't throw. He's going to be raw. He's going to be the kind of guy that learns on the job. It is what it is. I know a lot of people are freaking out, but bro, I'm not too concerned. He's a fantasy football monster. On top of that, Shane Steichen is so good, and we already saw what he was capable of doing with him in a very short period of time. He's going through a rough patch. This could be very good for last-minute drafts where his value drops, and you could always pair him with someone else. But I'm not too concerned. I know that everybody and their mother is going to be talking badly about him, so we're going to have to see where his ADP drops. It's going to be quite interesting where he ends up going, with some of the negative buzz that's going on. But keep in mind, he still had a touchdown in this game. He threw, who did he throw the touchdown to again? It was A.D. Mitchell. We love A.D. Mitchell. So he was 8 of 14, 86 yards and a touch. He's not even doing what his specialty is, which is running with passing. Didn't do much of that in this game. I'm not extremely worried. Touchdown's promising. Look, he's going to have some ups and downs. I think for people to assume he's going to be perfect as a kind of a second go of a rookie season is wild to me. I'm all for it. If his value drops, I'm still in. I'm still 100% in. But I do take advantage of the drops when I get them. If the drop in value happens, I'm taking full advantage of it. I'm not going to start taking them where I was. Now I got a new risk of entry baked in. But we'll see. He still scored a touchdown, and A.D. Mitchell is looking really good right now. He's definitely, you could even put A.D. Mitchell on like a poor man's version, like a later list of wide receivers that can help you try and dominate your team, your league. And A.D. Mitchell would qualify in that slightly tiered down version of these guys. A.D. Mitchell's going, Wicks would be another one. Wicks, A.D. Mitchell are two. I'm going to do a deep sleeper wide receiver, deep sleeper running back, middle range running back, middle. I'm going to try and do a video for each position and give you a sense of who the deep sleepers are and the mid-range sleepers and the early sleepers, because there's sleepers all over the place. Ron Navy gifted 20 gifted memberships and a $20 hauler. Let's see, who am I talking to? Josh? Was that who I was talking to? Or are you the one that asked the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, bro?
Oh man. Hey, I just appreciate the off season, brother. Rolling with you all year.
Atta boy.
One more. Sorry, yeah, one more.
All right.
In a grandma league, where are you taking Aiyuk?
My grandma.
I'm not really taking him, bro. The bottom line is he goes well before I'm ever pressured to take him. I just don't want a part of a guy that has literally had nothing to do with the offseason so far. You know, like you could say, well, what about Lamb? Lamb gets a pass in a way, but only for so long. You know, like I'm going to be scared to draft Lamb comparatively to other players like Tyreek Hill and Bijan. At some point, I'm gonna say, never mind. I'm taking Lamb here. Like if Lamb falls to number 6 or 7 overall, that bakes in a lot of the risk, obviously. So it just depends, my guy. It just depends. All right, hey, gotta roll. Appreciate
you, brother.
Yeah, later. Mo, I'm coming for you next. Please hang tight. Let me get this caller on hold. 909. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Smitty.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on hold. What's your name, bro? 909. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Trevor, I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Okay, Trevor, hang tight real quick. Mute your phone. I'll be right with you. Trevor from Cali. Okay. Let me get these super chats. There's just a couple of them out of the way. Ron Navy dropping a 20 watt.
Memberships too. Jonathan.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ron Navy, appreciate you. Ron coming in strong. 20 gifted memberships by Ron Navy. 10 of them by Jonathan. Jonathan to the moon for dropping the 10 watt. Ron Navy to Saturn for dropping the 20 watt. If you guys get a gifted membership from Ron or Jonathan, please thank them. Or you won't know which one gave who, but just thank both of them. We've got another super chat here, so thanks again, Ron. Ron says, get the likes up, gang. Come on, it's not hard to hit the like button. We've got 141 thumbs up and 404 of you in the building. Omar, $5 holler, says, I went Hall in the first round, Barkley in the second round, Achane in the third round, Allen in the fourth round, and the fifth round took Rice in the sixth round drafting. Thank you, pal. I like the balls on that. The fact that you can put your cojones on the table and say, you know what, I'm going to go with all the best picks, and I'm going to have a light wide receiver room. But guess what, bro? You have absolute straight ballers. Get Keon Coleman, get Worthy on top of Rice. You're going to be set. Don't listen to anybody. You're rolling with a pretty strong arsenal of players, bro. I like it. Don't hesitate to do wild and crazy strategies when you're going best player available. Who is it that ran that touchdown in by the Chiefs? Was that Zambit? It looked like a rugby player. Rank these guys: Debo, Devontae Smith, Nico, DK, and Cup. Oh, a steal. I'm gonna go Cooper, Debo, Cooper, Cup, and then it's kind of a three-way. Not to cop out on this one, but kind of a three-way tie between DK, Nico, and Devontae Smith. I'm truly gonna be rotating that over and over and over, depending on what I have, you know, how many shares of this I got to try and diversify my portfolio. But I think the one thing I can say with certainty is Cup and Debo are ranked higher for me, bro. Cup and Debo for me. Very good question, though. Appreciate the super chat. All right, let me head back over to the phone line and Trevor, or Mo, go ahead then, Trevor. Mo, Travis, do you have anything you want to say? You're a Mars man. You get to jump the line unless you want to heed the way.
I just want to say one quick thing.
Yeah.
People talking about different narratives and stuff. So anyone who thinks Caleb is going to be great, and you can't worry about what he did in the preseason except the touchdown, you got to do the same thing with AR5 then. If he scored a touchdown, then he had bad play. You know, It's just people follow these different narratives when they want to. I guess it's human nature to a point, but, you know, Caleb had crappy drives and then he scored a touchdown, so he was great. But what did AR5 do, you know?
Yeah, and AR5, like I said, still scored. He was 8 of 14, which, you know, it's not the end of the world to be 8 of 14. I know that there are some moments where everyone's, showing some concern, but I mean, like he's still a fantasy football machine. And dare I say that, and I'm not saying he can't become a good NFL QB. I'm not. But this is the one scenario where, and I don't feel this way about JD5, don't feel this way about most running quarterbacks. Most running quarterbacks like Hurts and Josh Allen, they're top 3 or 4 quarterbacks and top 3 or 4 fantasy quarterbacks. Don't get it twisted thinking that Josh Allen or especially Jalen Hurts is not a top 5 QB. Oh, but he is a top 5 fantasy, but he's not top 5 QB. You're going to have a painful season watching that unfold because he absolutely is. But AR5 is the one exception that I can think of off the top of my head where fantasy and reality aren't parallel. And it doesn't mean he can't get there. I truly believe he can get there at some point. But like right now, he is fantasy and not necessarily NFL, you know, in terms of the parallel qualities. Marsman, Moonman draft order. We're going to do it live on the show. Sick Nasty, I'm going to hit the button and show it live on the show. So hang tight on that one. Unless it's already been done in the Moonman draft, I don't want to redo it. But in the Marsman, we'll do it live, and I'll have the commission do it live in the Moonman as well. So that draft is tomorrow. Get ready for it. Or not tomorrow, Saturday. Superfish, what future draft pick would you package with Joshua Palmer to trade and get Ramondre Stevenson? Asking for a Patreon friend. Okay, I think second rounders, obviously. Would I give a first rounder for Ramondre? Probably not, even though I'm excited about Ramondre. I'm not doing that. So it would have to be second rounders. What package? So that's with picks. Joshua Palmer, I need to know players, involved, but like Palmer and let's say the person's backup. Palmer and maybe a backup quarterback that you drafted 2 of, or a backup tight end you drafted 2 of. I don't know that I'm giving up any significant player other than borderline starters, Zach Moss, guys like that to get Ramondre. Would I even give Chase Brown up to get Ramondre? No. So it depends. I like Ramondre a lot, but there's still some risk involved. And he does play on an offense that isn't necessarily yet going to be very potent. So drafting players on not very potent teams is never always the best strategy. You get the likes up, says Ron Navy. Ron Navy, thank you. And then the last super chat, then I'm going back over to Mo. Brian says, 10-team full PPR. Should I grab Kelsey in round 3? No. I'd say there's probably, my guesstimation, 10 other players I'd rather have in round 3. Do I like them in 4? It depends still. Probably, but it depends. All right, let me go over to Mo. Mo, you're live.
What up, Smitty?
What's up, Mo?
Quick question on Jaden Reed. Would you take him over the rookie receivers? So I'm talking like a Dunze, Coleman, Worthy, BTJ.
That's a great question. Let me rank them for you. So you're saying take
Jaden Reed.
Reed, okay.
Would you take over like a Dunze?
Yeah.
Keon
So
Coleman,
let me put Reed right in the middle of the board. I'm going to say give me Coleman above Reed. Give me, and I know he's not a rookie, but I just want to include him too. Give me Rice over Reed. Give me Worthy over Reed. What is that noise? It sounds like someone's hang gliding or something.
It's windy.
Is it a lot of wind? It's probably Mo with San Marcos wind. Is it windy out there, pal? We're getting a big storm.
I think it's my fan.
Okay.
I turned it off though.
We're getting a big storm here, so it's going to be windy here too. Coleman, Rice, Worthy, all over them. BT and Reed feel very similar to me. I think depending on that wind that we're hearing, if the wind blows a certain direction, I like BT. Blows the other direction, I like Reed. The reason I probably choose BT is because he's maybe the number one in his offense. And even though Reed's in a better offense, he's maybe the 2-3. And so I'm going to put BT ahead of Reed. So we're going to put Reed right here. So BT goes ahead of him. What other wide receivers can you think of?
Do you rank a Dunze?
I'd probably take a Dunze over Reed too, just on the chance that he's going to get better. I think he's gonna get better and better. I really like a Dunze. I think Keenan Allen, I don't know if he's gonna last. I know he looked good in this last scrimmage, but he hadn't looked good up until that point. I just don't know. There's a lot of negativity around Keenan Allen, except for just recently. Now it's all positive, but I think Odunze is going to be utilized. They're going to run him. They're going to do end arounds. They're going to do all kinds of stuff with Odunze. He's going to have all these extra yards, kind of be like a Jaden Reed type usage of a player. Now, all this to say that I do think Reed is capable of being the top guy on this list. They're all capable of that. It's a blender type situation. So I'll be lying to you if I said part of me isn't worried about me not having Reed higher. But I think if I'm ranking these guys, it's going to be Rice 1, Coleman 2, or Rice 1 and Coleman 1, like 1A and 1A. Worthy and BT are pretty damn close. Odunze right behind and Reed, probably in that order.
Sure.
I'm gonna put Rice and Coleman as 1 and 1. I think they're 1A and 1A. I think Worthy and BT are like 2A and 2A. Not to keep, making everybody tie, but sometimes it's too close on a phone call to like really give you an answer. So I'd rather be cautious than just start ranking guys like without even having time to digest it. All right, appreciate you, Mo. Thanks for waiting. Sorry about the long hold, bro. This is
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, this is like that long restaurant wait. You're waiting for a table, but I promise you, once we seat you down, you got the view, the food's great. You're gonna be fine. You're going to be fine. Michael with the super chat says Ramondre Stevenson or Zamir White in Dynasty. Probably Ramondre. It's a close call, but Stevenson's on a bad offense, and there's no guarantee for touchdown production. At least we know Stevenson, even in a bad game script, is going to get fed receptions. So Stevenson, there you go. There's your Stevenson. Finally getting a Stevenson answer out of me. Let's go over to Trevor from Cali. Trevor, you're live. What do you hear? What do you say?
Hey, Smitty, so tomorrow I got my draft. It's a 10-man PPR. I got the third pick.
Yes, sir.
And the guy in second says he told the whole league that he's taking Jamar Chase. So with that, I'm either going to get
come on. Why are you going to do... Why would you tell the entire league you're taking somebody when you're not at 1 overall? This is the biggest bunch of BS. You guys fall for it all the time. Think about it from your own perspective. Are you ever going to tell somebody what you're going to do? You're never going to. Am I correct?
You want someone to take him.
Does anybody on the phone line want to admit, I tend to let everybody know when I'm at the 3 spot. I let the 1 and 2 overall owner know what I'm doing. It's all misdirection, bro. There's no way.
He wants him to take Chase.
There's no way.
I mean, I believe him, but the guy's kind of a goofball. But with that being said, like if he does go Chase, I'm thinking either CMC or Lamb, obviously. And then on the 2-3 turn, I want to pick, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, I want to pick him up, try to get the stack.
Yeah, sure.
And then if not, I'm thinking Etienne or another running back like that. I just want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's 100,000 ways to skin a cat, even more ways to win the league, as we say on the channel. So, everything you said I like. It doesn't mean I do it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to. I got to see what's on the board to really give you good advice. But I would say that I absolutely love the plan you have, loose base plan. Make sure you go best player available. Make sure you change directions if changing directions is needed. Just ask yourself every time you're on the clock, is this the best pick available? And if it is, then smash it. The only thing I'd say is with your 3 pick, you've got guys holding out. There's risk involved. You've got to be okay with the Ceedee Lamb risk. If Bijan's there, I'm taking Bijan at 1.1. If he's still there.
Really?
if he's not taken at 0.0, I'm taking Bijan at 1.1. So if he's there at 1.3, I've already pressed the button.
Yeah. For sure. I appreciate the advice.
All right, later, bro. Right, call back with if you got a more distinct question, but I don't know. It's hard to know when someone's like, "Hey, at 2, if I'm at pick 2, what should my strategy be?" Like, I know you want me to give you a concrete answer, but it's usually going to be, "Hey, this is what I've done well with. I've drafted Tyreek Hill, Achane, and Kyren in best ball. And I crush it. I'm sitting there going at the end of it. How in best ball is Kyren still in round 3? How is he in round 3 in best ball? I don't understand how. But when you go back into the non-best ball world, he goes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's no way to secure that in a non-best ball. But I will go Kyren and Achane in the first and second round to make sure I can get that combo. Certainly go Mahomes in the third round consistently. That's the way I roll. But the third pick is pretty good. It's a pretty damn good pick. If you go Bijan or wide receiver, you're still set up beautifully. If you think you can get away with the late running backs, at least get one of Kyren or Achane, then going balance is fine. Tyreek Hill, Achane, Tyreek Hill, Kyren with the first and second round pick. Definitely, you know, awesome maneuver. Let me get through these four callers real quick, and then Travis, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Since you're probably gonna have to wait through four callers. Did you have anything else?
Just on that call, touching on running backs, like where does ETN fall for you? Would you take up like Jacobs and Pacheco before ETN this year?
Pacheco for sure. Jacobs and ETN are pretty damn close. I could split that.
Pretty close.
I could split it. Definitely.
Okay, and obviously Saquon. What about JT?
I think JT's right below Saquon. So definitely feel like they're in tier 2 or round 2. Jacobs and Pacheco are kind of in round 3 for me. Pacheco kind of the top of round 3. I don't love Pacheco as my second drafted player as much as I absolutely am thrilled as can be when I'm patient and I get him as my third drafted player. And if I don't, I don't in that league. You know, you're not going to get him in every league. So.
ETN, you're okay with it as third player?
Third player, not second.
Right.
But he's mad disrespected. Mad disrespected, and I admit that. Like, I feel like I'm mad disrespecting the guy that was a top 4 running back. But they keep talking about every offseason. Like, it's hard to say, you know, it's hard not to take that, you know, seriously when they're like, we're going to give him less work. We're going to give him less work than they don't. But the only difference between last year and this year is we're hearing rave reviews about Tank Bigsby.
Right.
And I don't want anybody to just completely brush that off because Kyren was brushed off as his first year. And so you just never know. I'm not calling him Kyren. He's going to be nowhere near Kyren. But point is, there's a lot more value there in Tank Bigsby than we probably imagined because he failed and we're ready to write him off completely. This one here from Aber says, can I get some Superflex tips, Smitty? First 3 picks. Quarterback, non-quarterback, non-quarterback, non-quarterback again if you can. Penix Jr., Cousins are your QB2. Bo Nix is your late QB2 if you miss out on that. And Justin Fields and Russell Wilson with Penix Jr. as your QB2. I'm not saying don't take a QB in round 2 or 3 if the right player fell, but I'm not going after Staffords. I'm not going after Tuas or anything like that. I'm going non-quarterback in round 2 and 3. And if it's a dynasty especially, you're getting Cousins and Penix Jr. at steal territory and you're destroying your league. If Cousins goes too early, you might only be able to get Penix Jr., but make sure you snipe him from that guy. And then also, I love Fields. You know, Fields and Russell Wilson to just lock up the security of it. I don't love Russell Wilson, but at least you get something. And that's the plan of attack for me. I'm not saying you have to go those strategies, but I find that I love my team with Bo Nix as my QB2, Penix Jr. as my 3, Taysom Hill as the 4, Rattler as the 4, those kind of things. Appreciate you. Go crush your draft. All right, if everybody can mute, I hear a lot of background noise. I don't know who's got, like, the family over, but I can hear Aunt Edna screaming in the background. Is the meatloaf ready? I hear it. Crillo, you're live, and then over to Tyler, and then over to Scott, and then over to Montana. Crillo, you're live. Everybody else, please be muted.
Yeah, I have a question concerning quarterback. So I'm in a 12-team league. And the passing touchdowns are worth 6 points instead of 4, but rushing touchdowns are also 6 points. So does that mean, like, do quarterbacks get pushed up or do they get pushed down? Do running quarterbacks, like, are they still valuable or not as valuable?
Well, that's pretty typical what you described. 4 points for a passing touchdown. Everybody in fantasy football for the most part.
No, it's 6. You know, it's 6.
6 for passing?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, you got, and it's only 4 for rushing. Is that what you're saying? For a quarterback?
No, it's 6 for both.
Okay, it sounded like you said the opposite. Okay, yeah, that definitely pushes the quarterbacks up. I think, you know, Mahomes and especially Jalen, or Mahomes, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts go up significantly. Like those guys are borderline mid-second to top of round 3 picks.
So
like,
I could take Josh Allen at the 2-3 turn.
absolutely.
Because I got the first. So I have the first pick of the draft already, and my ideal start is I go Christian McCaffrey, and then I go. It's usually like Olave falling there, and then I go Josh Allen.
Yeah, bro, any one of the 3 big quarterbacks is still there at the 2-3 turn. You smash the hell out of it in a 6-point per TD league.
Okay. Do you think Josh Allen falls off without having like that clear number 1, or I think he's wide receiver proof.
But why would he fall off? Fall off from what? From a guy named Diggs that did nothing the entire second half of the year. Like Diggs was he was a non-factor, and what did Josh Allen do at the end of the year, bro? Let me show you real quickly. People that say that, I'm not saying you specifically, but people that people that feed people this information don't know what in the hell they're talking about, and it's unfortunate that so many people, and it's not your fault. You might not have time to look at it all. You're relying on me and other people to give you the information. From mid-season on, this guy Diggs didn't do a thing. Didn't do a thing. Yeah. Josh Allen was QB 2, 4, 5, 1, 9, 2, 6, 4. He was 10 times a top 6 quarterback. He was the number 1 overall quarterback without Diggs doing a thing for half a season. And if you think, he just draws defensive tension the whole time, they never went to him. And he was a liability. Every time they did go to him, he was a concern for Josh Allen. They cut dead weight. And dare I say, Keon Coleman's better than Diggs is right now. Maybe Diggs in his prime was better. I'm not an idiot. But Diggs right now at 87 years old is not better than Keon Coleman today. And you can visit me later in mid-season if anybody disagrees with that and is wanting to call cap on that because you're a big Diggs fan and you own Diggs in 7 leagues. All right.
Hey, what about is Kyler Murray and McBride at the 4-5 turn? Is that too aggressive?
No.
I think that's really good value.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think Kyler goes a little higher in some leagues than he does others. Monitor your ADP recommendation, bro.
He's been shooting up crazy.
Keep an eye on it.
I've been seeing him over AR and Stroud now. Yeah. Now that Matthew Berry put him as his fucking ride or die or whatever.
Yeah, but it's only going to influence so much. It just depends on the format. Kyler's going around 7 in one league, or he's going around 5 or 6 in another. It just depends on who you're drafting with. Just look at the pre-rank list and it'll help guide you because people are pretty fickle in round 4, 5, 6, and they'll go with whatever is suggested at some point. All right, got to go, Krillo. Appreciate you. Right. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you later. Money Mo says, should I drop A.D. Mitchell for McCaffrey? No, A.D. Mitchell's looking amazing, bro. He caught a touchdown today. He's been looking fantastic. But I do like Luke McCaffrey, but I'm not saying don't make room. But, okay, let's see here. I think the Super Chats, we got maybe one more. Tyree says, Jared says, yo, Smitty, pick 8 of 12 team PPR. I have JJ and Kyron. Do I take Laporta or Mahomes with my 3rd pick? Laporta should not be taken in the 3rd round. There's just Kincaid and McBride going around 4 and 5, usually 5. So to take Laporta in 3 when Kincaid and McBride are going to 5, it's not a smart move. Mahomes all day long, bro. It's not even close. It's not even remotely close at all whatsoever. Give me Kincaid or McBride with Mahomes in that situation. And golf with a $10 hauler, golf to the mother flipping moon with the 10 spot, my guy. Golf says as follows: would you be up to doing a breakdown video on one of your favorite underdog teams, or maybe a stream tonight? It's hard to find. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some things here in the next couple of days because I've got very little time to do more drafts. So there's gonna be a lot of draft streams in the next few days, or even videos that are not streamed potentially. So you'll see some approaches. I'm gonna try and give you like a strategy from every single pick is what I'm going to try and do from every draft slot. So we'll have to see if I can pull that off in enough time. We got very little time before the season starts. We still got some time. Opening day is what day is opening day? Let's see, where's week 1? Here's week 1. Opening day is the date. Yeah, what's the date? The 5th. So we got, we still got a lot. I mean, even though we're looking at the end of the preseason, we still got that break in between. Got a lot of drafting I can do. I think I can get through a video that does how to dominate pick 1, how to dominate pick 2, how to dominate pick 3. I think I'm going to do a series on that. And we'll cook that up, and it'll be pretty damn good content. Here's this one, A.D. Mitchell or Palmer. A.D. Mitchell for me. Look, that's not like a crazy question. You know, my initial reaction was like, come on, but it's really Palmer has a shot. Palmer has a shot. Everybody keeps talking about Quentin Johnston and McConkey. Palmer is probably the number 1 wide receiver. He's the only one that's going to be trusted by Herbert right now. So Palmer's the sneaky one if you wanted to say, hey, should I draft somebody? I got to draft somebody on the Chargers receiving, in that receiving room. Who should I take? I'd probably be like, vomit. Okay, now that I wiped the vomit off my face, give me Palmer, I guess. Let's see here. 908 caller. I'm going to come to you in a second, but what's your name and where are you calling from? I'm going to put you on mute, but what's your name and where are you calling from?
Nick from Baltimore.
All right, Nick, hang tight for me real quick. I'll be right with you, pal.
All good, brother.
Nick from Baltimore. And just mute if you could. All right, next up was, who was next? Tyler, then Scott, then Sebastian, then Nick. So Tyler, you're live. Keep it as snappy as you can. No backstories. Nothing about your Uncle Bud and how your Aunt Mildred and Uncle Bud met. Just give me the meat and potatoes of the question. Go.
Okay, full PPR. I drew pick 11 overall. Who are the best 2 players to get, or who's falling? Because I've never drafted from the 11th pick before. Redraft.
1.11. I love going. I mean, it depends. Are you drafting with some corpses or grandmas or great grandmas or anything like that? Like, is there a shot that you're going to see something like we've been seeing in the offseason occasionally, where like Bijan falls, or something like that?
Like there's a shot that like AJ Brown will fall down there.
Okay.
There's a shot that like.
You want to know?
Wilson might be around.
You know, I want to know what I'd do. I don't mind going Garrett Wilson and then Kyren, or Garrett Wilson and Achane, but I also don't mind in this grandma environment, bro, where you're probably gonna get Debo and Tank Dell as your 4th and 5th round players. You're probably gonna get Debo in round 4 or something crazy like that. Tank Dell in 5. I'm going running back, quarterback. I'm not saying I lock that in. I tell you guys not to lock anything in. I'm just giving you my guesstimation, and I usually dominate with this, and I usually find that it's best player available. But I would strongly consider Kyren and Achane, or Kyren and Barkley, or you want balance if you're an anxious Angus and you think you're going to lose sleep at night. Garrett Wilson and Kyren's fantastic. Garrett Wilson and Kyren's probably the most balance you could get. AJ Brown and Kyren. But Kyren in round 2, cuff him to Corum. Don't let Aunt Edna get Corum, bro. Make sure you know who's a Michigan fan in the family, and make sure you're not getting sniped there. But Kyren and Corum together is, as I've said all off season long, I can't scream it enough, is the best running back in football. It's locked. It's near locked. You can't guarantee anything in life. I mean, they could run into each other in practice and injure each other. Who knows? Like when mom runs into her son on the motorcycle on that Instagram video where she's like, be careful, sonny boy. And he's like, Mom, I'll be fine. She's like, there's crazies out there. And then he's driving away, and at the stoplight, she runs him over. It's like, he goes, Ma! Who knows if that's what's happening in practice. But all I'm saying is you grab the duo and you're smashing, bro, as your second running back or your first running back. But Garrett Wilson, Garrett Wilson's got ball, bro. Garrett Wilson looks so good right
now. Okay, thanks.
All right, yeah, Garrett Wilson, Kyren, or Kyren Achane, or Kyren Barkley, or I don't even hate MHJ. As the second drafted player. But my guess is in your grandma league, you're getting MHJ in round 3. So you might want to wait. All right, we'll see you later, pal. Tyler, call back in when you got your team and you need some questions answered, all right?
Thanks.
All right, Scott from Callie, then over to Sebastian, and then over to Nick, and then back to Travis. Hit me with it. You're live, Scotty boy.
Yeah, just chiming in on a few callers ago that list of receivers was like Reed, Rice, etc. And I'm wondering where you have Christian Watson, dude. Would you throw him in that mix or
no?
Later?
Well, no, actually, I will. You know what I was gonna say is Reed's kind of like maybe in the top of this next tier. So like that's why I'm saying no. I think Reed and Watson are in the same group. They're right next to each other. I kind of lean for safety Reed, and I kind of lean for balls to the wall Watson. But I don't know. I
like to take chances, and I've always loved C-Watt to just fulfill the prophecy. But yeah, I understand the risk there.
Bro, you're able to in a grandma league. You're able to get Watson, Wicks, Dobbs, Reed. You could grab all of them. And they wouldn't cost you.
Right now, it looks like I could grab Watson like in 8 or 9, and then still grab BT like in 10 pretty easily.
Before these guys climbed, I did a video on how to consume like all of them, not necessarily, but Jordan Love and all of them in conjunction with a whole nother team. So like you're in best ball, you grab Jordan Love in round wherever he falls 6, 7. You grab Reed, Watson, Wicks, whatever, and then you have all the Packers, and then your rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even round 6 have nothing to do with this. And so in best ball, you've got the Green Bay offense waiting as a sub stack, and you might not even have Love as your starter. You could go Mahomes, you could go Gibbs and Achane and Tank Dell and whatever, and then have this sub stack, and then it's just like I love how they could all collide together and give you that spike week. But yeah, Watson, it feels like there's a mini tier break between the Green Bay guys and
that other group.
And maybe only because we don't know. It's so confusing. We don't know what we're like. You're going to miss on it like 7 times out of 10 if you're just picking one of them. So that's why I feel more comfortable.
Yeah, looking at Watson and then picking up Wicks later.
Yeah. But in best ball...
Now, how about MHJ? Where do you have him? Yeah, best ball redraft.
Yeah,
not best ball. Sorry.
So in best ball, I love the Green Bay guys more than non-best ball because you can scoop them all up and you just sit back and optimal scoring starts the highest one for you. You just lay back and go do your worst. Okay. But yeah, so as far as MHJ in non-best ball, it does seem like the less educated your league is, the more likely you're getting them in the 3rd round right now. It's insane.
Right.
But
because I really like Nico at the 2-3 turn. Would you grab MHJ over him, or would you go Nico and then hope to catch him?
Oh, I go MHJ all day long.
Yeah.
So let's say you were to take Bijan, and then you get like Achane and MHJ. That's killer.
I was looking at that, or even going Bijan, then go MHJ and Nico, or go like.
Nico, I don't think I like Nico, bro, but I just did
an eye on him.
I mean, why in round 2? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why is Nico going in round 2?
I just look at the potential for him to just. I mean, you look at some of his weeks last year; he was balling.
I know,
I don't really think Diggs is much of a
But
threat.
Tank Dell was better than him by a smidge.
But you can still get him in like 4.
But that's what I'm saying. So what are we doing with Nico? And why wouldn't you go Dell cost of entry? And Dell's not going 4 in grandma leagues. He's going in 5. So Dell was better than Nico when they were both on the field by a smidge. They would rotate, but everybody was ready to anoint him. He's the slight favorite. And then he gets hurt, and now everybody's taking Nico in round 2. I don't approve of it. I pretty disapprove of it.
Okay.
All right.
So then I'll just say one more.
Last one.
Second, Tyler. I think he's liked his time on the moon, but he's looking for a shuttle to Saturn, just off of draft capital.
Well, of course.
Because if you look at him the last 3 weeks, he's scoring 20 points a week. Right there with Allen and
there's a reason. Group. There's a reason he's on the Mars. He's not on the moon. Kyler Murray's on Mars.
Yeah.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
Oh, he. Oh yeah, he did. He is.
I just think so. For me, it's like okay, I can grab Allen or one of those guys in round 3 or 4, But if I'm grabbing, monster receivers in those rounds and I can still get Kyler later and he's competitive with those guys, I'm smacking in the flex and it all goes.
All right, hold on, bro. No one can
my
hear
wide
you.
receiver room is just so much
Bro,
better.
hold on. No one can hear you. Yeah, so I've got this video coming up here. This should post tonight or tomorrow. But this is the revenge tour. It's been revamped. Number 1 and number 2, Garrett Wilson and Cooper Kupp. Tank Dell and Kyler. These are your revenge tour candidates. And yeah, Kyler, as I've mentioned, was a top 5. The reason he's been on the Moon Man list for how long now? Months? Is because he is absolutely undervalued, was scoring like a top 5 QB before he went down. And he was number 5. If you extrapolate it all out, he was number 5. He goes down with the ACL tear. That was 10 weeks of a sample that we had to look at too. It wasn't like 4 weeks or something. It was 10 weeks. He was a top 5 QB. He's getting MHJ. He did what he did, especially when he took the Cardinals offense from a cellar dweller to when he returned last year, top 10 offense, pretty much every start. What do you think he's going to do with a more unlocked McBride and a MHJ who's going to play like a 3-year veteran? So Kyler is definitely a revenge tour top 4. And then I've got the obvious group over here. I'll go over it in the video, but video should be out. It's pretty much edited. I just need to post it and doctor it up a little bit. But yeah, all right, got to go, bro. Appreciate you. Scotty, call back if you got another one.
All right.
Sebastian, you're live. Sebastian hasn't been here for a while. Thanks for enjoying. Everybody enjoy the stream. Says golf with a $10 hauler, golf to the moon. What is going on, Sebastian?
To the moon.
How you doing today, Smitty?
Where you been? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Madden came out, and I was in
Madden came out?
in $1 million tournament. Yeah, bro.
You haven't watched any shows because Madden came out?
That's right.
All right, bro. I think you got your head in that too much. I mean, bro. I've gone live like 87 times since Madden came out.
Hey, bro. I mean, it was like a part-time job for me, bro.
Okay.
A little side income.
Okay. All right. What can I do for you?
I wanted to bring up my thoughts. I got 3 deep sleever borderline waiver wire week 1 receivers. Give me Jacoby Myers. Mike Williams.
Okay.
Sorry,
who?
I'm West Coast, so.
Who?
Mike Williams and Dontavian Wicks.
Wicks isn't going to be a waiver wire guy.
One of those 3 can be like a borderline wide receiver 2.
Wicks isn't a waiver wire guy, bro. Wicks is getting snagged everywhere.
In redraft?
Hell yeah. What do you know? You've been playing Madden for freaking a month. How would you know? How would you know anything about this?
He just went on waivers in my league.
Well, you're playing a 3-man grandma league. He's absolutely on everyone's radar. Wicks ain't going on waiver wire fodder. But I would say maybe if you're playing in a really weak league or something with small benches. But I don't agree with Mike Williams. But you never know. I don't agree with Mike Williams. You never know. Myers, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like trade happens, maybe. But as far as Wicks is a guy you got to draft. If he's on waivers coming out of week 1, I'll be shocked. I'll give you credit to say that. Hey, I accounted for this. I didn't think that people would leave him on waivers, but I think he's drafted and he's got to be. What's his ADP? His ADP. I'm scooping him up as like my wide receiver 4 or my wide receiver 5.
Wide receiver heavy.
I don't know, bro. Let me just see real quick where his ADP is. I know underdogs are going to be different, but Wicks has got a climbing ADP. He's not waiver wire material, I don't think. Wicks's value is let's see here. I don't know. I can't even find it right now. It's probably climbing. I'm looking probably too low.
On underdog, he's like 113. And that's
really
high price wide receivers.
Yeah, I know, but 113. That's not even close to waiver wire fodder. That's like That's like round what? What is that?
Round
9
11.
11.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 50 something. Yeah, bro. And in best ball, even though when you get that late, it kind of levels out to being almost normal because people catch up on the running backs and then they start drafting less wide receivers. And so it's not like, but anyway. All right, Sebastian, anything else? Go back to Madden.
I'll tell you why I like Mike Williams before I head out. I trust his quarterback, and if he's going to bounce back, this is going to be the year to do it, and he's practically free for what you're expecting. And in a redraft league, you can hold him on IR, so he won't even take a roster spot.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't hate the take, but I'm certainly not excited about it. I think Mike Williams he plays 3 games and gets hurt. I think Malachi Corley is eventually going to be the guy anyway. But we'll see.
100%.
All right, Sebastian. All right, bro. Later, pal. Go back to Madden.
I'll catch you.
Hey, where you been? I've been playing Madden for 7 months. Nick from Baltimore, then over to Travis. Go ahead.
What's up, brother? Quick question. Picking from the 9th spot in a 12-team half PPR.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where you been? I've been playing Madden for 7 months.
Montana, you got to turn your background down. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Montana called in with the show blasting in the background. I had to hang up on him. Go ahead. 1-7. What's your question?
So picking from the 9th spot in a 12-team half PPR, it's a big money league. It's super competitive. I really want to go RB because I feel pretty good about some of the later wide receivers.
As do I.
And the other thing too is the 6-point QB scoring, which it's whatever. But I'm having a hard time kind of picking out which way to go with my first and second pick. And the only reason I say that is because the league is very running back heavy. Like, they might even be, I'm not exaggerating when I say, like, Saquon might be off the board before I even...
Well, is it a 12-man league?
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing you won't get Kyren and Achane. I think their reach is and you're going to get it done. And if not, then you're going to get Kyren with 9. I'm almost sure of it. And then, bro.
Oh, for sure, Kyren, I can get at 9. I could see how it falls, but the question I guess I have is, like, let's just say hypothetically in the world, because I'm just trying to think ahead a little bit. Like, what if, like, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson fall to 9?
I'm fine with that too.
Great about it.
I think you get Achane or Jahmyr Gibbs or Kyren at the next pick, but maybe you don't. I mean, it's tough to say. Barkley, one of those guys will fall. But there's nothing wrong with going Kyren at 9, bro. Kyren could be the best running back in fantasy football this year, especially if you cuff him like I tell you to every single day. So there's no negative stance on taking Kyren at 9. I don't care who falls. Like, he literally is the second best running back in all of fantasy football, barely behind Christian McCaffrey per start, and he played 12 games. It wasn't 4 games, it wasn't 5 games. Kyren was an absolute monster. Scored 15 touchdowns in 12 games. He has the number 1 overall blocking offensive line in the league. So it's not crazy in a running back crazy environment to go Kyren. But, like, Chase is hard to pass up, but there's risk there. I mean, you don't know if he's holding out. It sounds crazy to pass on him today, but what about 4 days from now? I don't know. I think,
Yeah, I don't know. And, I mean, he held out in college, too. Like, he's stubborn like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel good about it. What about Kyren or Gibbs? What if they're both there?
Love both. I rotate both. Can't tell you.
Last question real quick. I'll let you go. Quarterbacks, with the 6-point scoring, do you value them a little more? Maybe try to...
Caller before you just asked that. 2-3 turn. Smash.
All right.
Absolutely. Like, you pass on in a 6-point per TD league, you pass on Mahomes, Hurts, or Josh Allen in a 6-point per TD league in round 3, you're punting such a great advantage.
Okay.
All right.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Later, bro. Montana, you're live. And then Travis.
Hey, Speedy. So if I drafted AR5 in the 6th round, it makes me want to get a backup quarterback. Would you be better off with a guy like Deshaun or Baker late, or would you rather just pick up like a Joe Flacco and just sit on him and say, you either have Flacco or AR, or would you have one of those other guys? I'll hang up and.
Bijan card has been revoked.
Because you just said blasphemous things, bro. What in the hell are you talking about?
Well, if you get AR5 and you want to get a very late backup quarterback,
why would you want to get a very late backup? Why wouldn't you want a good backup?
Well, I mean, if you can, or if you missed out, or if people took them and you missed out.
You can't miss out, bro. There's like 15, 20 quarterbacks better than all the quarterbacks you just named. There's no way you keep missing that. Like
so
you
I got Deshaun Watson.
No, thank you. You could get so many good quarterbacks, bro. Like you're talking about the worst case scenario, you get a Justin Herbert or something, who I'm never promoting. But you can't. Cousins.
Rodgers, Stafford.
Yeah, what are we doing, bro? You're gonna put your season on Joe Flacco?
Goff, Tua, Herbert, any of them.
Bro, if I've taught you anything, you got to watch my River. Call him one more time. My content on quarterbacks is this: I'll draft 3 of them. I'll draft 3 really good. I'm not saying I'm taking them in places that don't make sense, but I will absolutely take a Fields or a Kirk Cousins on top of having a Mahomes and some other very solid player that, like, I'll do that. I'm that guy. And people will say, you can't take 3 quarterbacks. What do you mean you can't take 3 quarterbacks? How many quarterbacks went down last year? Having AR5 as your second quarterback last year, when he did fall very, very late, afforded you to make a trade when Burrow went down, or Aaron Rodgers went down, or Kirk Cousins went down. All these quarterbacks went down last year. Like, you better back up your QB, bro. You're talking about a running quarterback, too. You're going to go with Joe Flacco? No, Montana.
So he's AR5's backup. So if AR5 gets hurt,
you'll be able to start him.
What are we talking about? Bijan card revoked.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Come on, Montana. You're really going to start Joe Flacco because he's the backup. You got so many. There's so many good.
Flacco was on fire last year. He was on fire last year. He was putting up 20 points a game when he was starting. He's proven that he's capable.
Call terminated.
Good gamble.
It's for your own good. You need a tough little lesson there. I couldn't listen to it anymore. Travis, what's up?
Yeah, just last thing on that, like, first of all, you'll probably be able to just scoop Flacco up. No one's going to be holding Flacco or jumping on him anyway.
Bro, better grab him now.
It's a big gamble that he's going to do it. What did he do it for 4 games, I think?
Better grab him now.
All the credit to him for last year, but different story now.
Maybe you can put him on IR for just being bad.
I was just going to ask. I've been reading a lot of good stuff about Tucker Kraft. I think that's his first name, Kraft, out of Green Bay. Do you see any world where him and Musgrave cancel each other out?
Yeah, there's a possibility, but Kraft can't stay healthy.
I mean, I love Musgrave. But.
Yeah, Kraft can't stay healthy, but either could Musgrave last year. So there's certainly that possibility, but I'm hoping that Musgrave stays on the field. Kraft definitely has been banged up, and he's like questionable, I think, still. Like, I don't think he's a clear out of the woods type of player right now. Yeah. So
right.
I think he's suffering from 2 injuries. All right.
What? Oh, he have two injuries, you said?
Yeah, I think he's had 2 different injuries this offseason, if I remember correctly. The last thing on Kraft is, let me pull up whatever I can find on him real quickly. Kraft. On track for week 1. He had the pectoral. I don't remember what the other one was. But I mean, you never know. They like him a lot. He's definitely definitely good. He had 2 touchdowns, 355 yards. Nothing crazy. Musgrave's the specimen. He's just absolute freak.
You can draft Musgrave in a spot though where you're going to have
or you could just drop Flacco. Drop Flacco and pick him up.
That's true.
All right.
Take Flacco. All
right, Travis. We'll see you later, bro.
Thanks, Smitty. Later.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
River, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
I'm good, bro. What's up?
I was just wondering what your opinion on this Jahan Dotson trade is. I watched the video a little bit before I joined the live stream.
Bro, I hate to do this to you, but I can't go over that again. I've done that 3 times. People keep calling in and saying, tell me about Jahan Dotson. This was the video. Like, I have a whole video on it, and then we talked about it on the breaking news portion of this show. So, in a nutshell, it's, McLaurin to the moon, Luke McCaffrey to the moon, Ben Sinnott to the moon. Everybody else doesn't do anything. It maybe helps Hurts if Hurts needs him, but he's not touching A.J. Brown's value, Devontae Smith's value, and maybe A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith take a little hit in perception, and we get to make out like bandits on that. That's the nutshell.
How much of a value hit does Dotson himself take, you think, though?
Probably the same. Maybe he's even a little bit better off because they were wanting to get him out of the system, essentially. So you don't know if he's going to be even the number 3. So probably better for him, but he's a good cuff. Like, I like drafting him in a big league to cuff him to one of my Philly receivers, because if my receiver goes down or one of them goes down, he could be pretty good. But yeah, there's tough to say. Go watch those videos though. What else you got?
You think I should drop Mason? Like, in the league, I don't have McCaffrey, but just to pick him up, as he was one of my last bench spots. It's a short bench, so it's a 14-team league.
Mason for who?
For McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey, now that Dotson's gone.
Yeah, I like both, though. I think Mason's pretty good. If anybody has Christian McCaffrey, they should have Mason no matter what. But if they don't, and you're kind of riding on that, like, off chance that he plays, I mean, Mitchell still could get the job. Everyone keeps saying Mitchell's the guy, not the guy, but Shanahan loves Mitchell. So
yeah, I think that's who he has on his team, the McCaffrey owner. So
yeah. So yeah, I don't mind that either way. Honestly, it could go either way.
Okay. All right, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, later, River. Later.
Yeah, have a good night.
Jay, hang tight, Jay. Let me get these super chats out of the way real quick. David Klein dropping a 20-watt on screen. 20-watt on screen. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My boy. Klein says trade Jaden Daniels, spelled it wrong. Jaden Daniels, Zamir White, and Ricky Pearsall for Garrett Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Justin Fields. Oh, full PPR 1 QB league. Kyler, you have Kyler Murray also. Okay, well, bro, I mean, as much as I hate to say goodbye and close one door on a stud like Jaden Daniels, you got Kyler, bro. I mean, Garrett Wilson, even if, let's say JD5 becomes a top 4 or 3 quarterback, look where the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks are going in drafts, behind Garrett Wilson. So at the end of the day, you're taking that Garrett Wilson side and you're running away. And I hate to say that in such an aggressive way against JD5, but it is what it is. You got to think logically on this thing, and that's a smash. Doesn't matter how much we love JD5. Now, the question is, could you potentially, bank on JD5 and trade Kyler? I don't know. I mean, I think Kyler's safer, but JD5 might surpass him. So it's really a tough call. Luke, appreciate your $10 hauler, which gets you a moonshot, my guy. Luke is the man, the myth, the legend. Hold on, Jay. I'm coming for you in 1 second. JJ first round, Barkley second. I'm thinking QB third. I would too. Question is, it's a 3 wide receiver league. Doesn't change my opinion. Would it be dumb to go running back in 4 through 7? All 4 through 7 after you don't have wide receivers? It could be dumb. I don't think I'm stacking 7. Be cautious. Do I go running back QB? Yeah. Would I go Bijan, Achan, Kyron in the weirdest situation? Sure. But am I going running back rounds 4 through 7? I don't know if you're saying like straight. Hell no. But would I take one in there? Sure. I'm not like immune to not like detouring and going RB again. Calvin with the super chat. Calvin, appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, if Washington doesn't make any other moves at wide receiver, keep an eye on Brown. We like Brown. Yeah, I mean, Brown's certainly looking like he's good. McCaffrey, I like a little bit more for the long term, but look, Brown's looking impressive. The reason they got rid of Dotson is because they want to move Brown potentially up. So definitely, I wouldn't say he's even off radars right now. He's definitely on radars. And if we did a waiver wire show today, which we'll probably do tomorrow or the next day, Brown's going to be talked about 100%, as will McCaffrey, because I think both of them aren't necessarily grabbed in every league. Rockout's Instagram, and then I'm coming for Jay. Rockout, ladies and gentlemen, here is his masterpiece of the day. Rockout, appreciate you. This is how we going down, going in, dropping lows, and you line them there. This is how we gotta go. Fantasy, a football show, yo. Thank you, Rock out to the moon. Jay, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
Straight
I got the second spot in the 12-man, and I have a keeper. My keeper is Brees Hall in round 2, and I'm looking to circle back round 3 and pick up Mahomes. Okay. So I was debating, should I go wide receiver first pick or running back Bijan? Running back. Or is Mahomes too early to get at 3.2? Is not a great AP.
Do you have a shot at getting one of the other like top 4 core? Like even Stroud is pretty good. Like you could get Stroud later.
That's what I was thinking about. Maybe like picking up Debo or a Josh Jacobs at 3.2 and circling back for AR.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, who do you get at wide receiver later? Does Dell fall? Like, I'd rather Mahomes than Dell.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think they know about Dell. I mean, I got him in round 16.
Then go Mahomes Dell. Mahomes Dell, easily.
So Dell, wide receiver 1, pick up Worthy or Coleman.
Yeah,
and just roll them for wide receiver 2.
I'm not scared of going Devontae Smith and Dell in that league. I bet you do it. You get Dell, Worthy, Rice, and you have like way better wide receivers than anybody realizes, and you have Bijan, Brees Hall, and Mahomes. Like, I don't mind having Tyreek Hill, Hall, and or if you say like Debo, so if you go Bijan, Brees Hall, Debo, and Stroud, that's pretty damn good, and Dell. I kind of like that. That sounds really nice. Dell, Stroud. Yeah. And maybe not even Debo. Like, what wide receiver could fall besides Debo? What other one?
Maybe London.
MHJ London. Oh yeah, that sounds good too. MHJ or London in a grandma league. London. If London falls, I kind of like that. That's pretty nice, bro. Yeah. If not, Mahomes, and then go Dell. But you might get.
You don't like Jacobs right there?
2-3. I'd like Jacobs, but I mean, I'm hoping to get him. Your pick's hard for Jacobs at 2-3. I love Jacobs, but I feel like at 2-3, there's just better players that I like a little more. Not that I hate Jacobs, not that he can't deliver there, but 2-3 is a little tough.
Yeah. I'm just going to tough. I don't know what all this wide receiver is. I think I might just go running back.
All right, broski.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, later. Omar, appreciate you dropping that super chat. Again, no message attached for Omar, but Omar, if you have a question, I'll look for it. Oh, Cooper Kupp. Yeah, Cooper Kupp's there, bro. I don't know if you're still on the phone, bro, but Cooper Kupp, no, he's off. That'd be a great pick, too. Yeah, Cooper Kupp's fantastic at the 2-3 turn. Preferably a little later into round 3 if possible. But Jack from Virginia, final caller of the night, and then I'm going to get off here, and then I'm going to come back, though, probably tonight. So we got 416 of you in the room, only 205 thumbs up. Please punch the thumb up button. Go ahead, pal, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, what's going on? Thanks for taking my call. I just got a quick question of a trade I got. You might laugh at this, but so in one of my Goofy Goober leagues, this guy offered me Tajee Spears, right, for my Blake Corum, and I have a naked Blake Corum, so I don't have Kyron. So I just want to know your thoughts on that. He's either really smart and genius, and I'm an idiot, or he's the idiot, and I should just capitalize on that. So I just want to know your thoughts there.
I don't know. I mean, I could go back and forth on this. If you've got no Kyron, then Spears might be a little bit more beneficial. He's going to get a lot of work. I like him a lot. I'd probably say give me Spears, but because Corn's a backup. He's a backup. He's a Tank Bigsby from last year, but capable if he gets in because the offense is amazing. And he could be a top 10.
That's true.
He's a top 10 running back per start. He's Alexander Madison back in the day when you had Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. Blake Corum is Alexander Madison. He's probably never going to be an elite star by himself like Madison wasn't. But when called upon, you may be like, damn, is that Kyron in there? And it's not because he's so good. It's because the offense is so good. But Corum,
Yeah.
Kyron's a top 5 running back, top 1 to 5. Corum's a top 6 to 10 running back because McVay's so good. So yeah, I probably say give me Spears though, because you have to wait on that. You don't even have the cut. But maybe you trade for Kyron. Maybe the guy who owns him, is this the guy?
No, he doesn't even have Kyron.
Okay,
so.
go to the Kyron owner and dangle him over his head and be like, look, bro, one of us needs to make a trade. I'll give you Corum, who's going to cost you a ton, because I think Corum's taking the job from Kyron, like, just BS him.
Oh, yeah?
But like, I'm trying to get Kyron. If you already got Corum, it might be easier than you think.
I mean, I got ETN and Achane, so I think I'm good at running back.
I mean, you wouldn't trade ETN for Kyron?
That's a good question.
I would.
You would?
Well, I mean, I'd take Kyron in the top 12, bro. So of course I would.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like, that's the hard thing. It's like there's so many good players, but like, that's why I'm calling here, because you're able to know the specifics and everything. And
I mean,
I just listened to a bunch of experts.
ETN was 4 last year, so it's not like a take a lap moment. But I mean, I'm taking Kyron over him every time. All right, bro.
I could potentially pitch that, but thank you, Smitty. Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and bro, you're guaranteed. For the most part, you can never guarantee anything, but you're almost guaranteed to have a top 10 running back all year long. Whereas right now, ETN goes down, you're not. So I mean, it's a secure move. All right, later, bro.
Yeah, well, all right, later, bro. Thank you.
Omar with a super chat. Omar, appreciate you. You dropped that 2 wad, then you came back with a question wad. And I appreciate you dropping the double there. Trade Pacheco and Olave for Neighbors and Hall. Woo! Give me Neighbors and Hall. And I'm not saying this like to be disrespectful to Pacheco and Olave, because I love both of them. I do. But give me Hall and Neighbors all day. Neighbors is close enough to Olave that you're smashing that because of the Hall side of that trade, bro. In my opinion. Chat, if you disagree or agree, please let them know in their Hall side or Pacheco side, drop it. Damn. That would be good, bro. AR5 and Zay Flowers for the 1.2 in 2024 pick and Fields. So AR5 and Zay for a 1.2 2024 pick and Fields. I mean, that's tough because, like, there's a lot of negativity right now on AR5, and I don't necessarily buy into it, but if your quarterback becomes Fields and he doesn't start, then you're in trouble. If you've got like a Kyler or something I don't know about, then, I mean, of course you're going to contemplate this and maybe look at the 1.2. If it's a super flex, then I'm doing this trade, I think, and I'm taking JD5. I mean, you could technically trade the 1.2 down, get JD5 for AR5 anyway, but I don't know. I do like AR5 or JD5 over AR5. So, like, I guess when you think about it like this, it's like, if it's super flex, I'm doing it. If it's not, it's a high cost. If you've got another quarterback, I do it because I want Neighbors over AR5. But if you don't know if Fields is going to be the starter, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying value wise, you could be throwing away. Okay, it's dynasty. But is it 1 QB, bro? Or is it 2 QB? Because that makes a huge difference. But part of me wants you to like get JD5 somehow, but I don't know that I want you spending a 1.2 on JD5. You got to take Neighbors. And you have no guarantee with Fields. So I need to know who your backup quarterback is if you make this move. And is it going to be Fields no matter what? Because then it's risky. And I need to know if it's a super flex. Ryan, appreciate you dropping the super chats. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Coming in strong. Appreciate all of you being here. You guys are all absolutely rock. Thank you for all the super chats. 1 QB, I have Love on the bench. Bro, you got to do this turn. You trade AR5 for Neighbors? Of course you do it a dynasty. Where's AR5 getting drafted into 1 QB? Round 5, 6, maybe 6. Where's Neighbors going in a 1 QB dynasty? Top 10, bro. Like, you need to smash the hell out of the Neighbors side of this in a dynasty 1 QB when you got Jordan Love on your mother freaking bench. And, take a lap for, maybe asking the question, but then take a damn victory lap for having such a good team, Ryan. Goodness gracious. Love to the moon, bro. You're starting Jordan Love, my man. Put him in. Put him in, coach. Put him in, coach. Gregory says I missed his super chat. Let's see, Gregory.
Motion detected at the front door.
Yeah, let's see, Gregory. Gregory, 3-person keeper, pick 3. Allen, Josh Allen, Barkley, Kyrie. I'm sorry if I missed this. I don't know how I don't know if I didn't get alerted or if I put it up and then I walked away from it. I'm sorry. Gregory, you're the man. Gregory, the man. Let's give Gregory a standing ovation. Okay, Gregory, appreciate you. Gregory says 3-person keeper, pick 3. Allen, Barkley, Kyron, JT, St. Brown, Puka, London, Laporta. Kyron, St. Brown. If it's 1 QB, probably Puka. And then I just draft Allen back or Mahomes or Hurts. And that would be my first pick. I would grab one of those QBs back. Just because I love Allen. But, bro, Kyron, St. Brown, and Puka, those are the highest draft capital players in my mind. So it's a smash for me. And that, that's parallel with what I'm doing. It doesn't mean you always do that because you might disagree with the ADPs, right? You don't like a guy's ADP, etc. But, man, I smashed the hell out of those 3 keepers, and I come back and grab a QB. Thank you, Gregory. I'm sorry about that. Did you hear my answer, Gregory? Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry about the delay on that, my guy. Etienne or Pacheco, I'm going to probably say this year Pacheco, even though the stats tell you different from last year. But we don't go off just last year. And then I just did the trade. I got Neighbors and Hall. Bro, that's a fantastic move. Great job, Omar. Just a fantastic move. Or was it Omar or Ryan? Love is my QB. Did I come? Omar, I hope. Didn't Omar have love? Oh, now I'm confused. Beacons, ETN. Beacons says, Bronco says Beacons, ETN. I say Pacheco. Don't listen to Beacons. Don't listen to Beacons. Gregory, appreciate you. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for dropping Super Chat Fire all night long. I give you the Supernovas, my favorite 5 picks, my guys of my Marsmen, Saturnmen, Moonmen, my 5 big dogs of the whole entire lot. I give you the 5 Supernovas.
There are Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 5 can become supernovas. I give you the 5 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 5 supernovas.
He goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Take a deuce, take a deuce, take a deuce, take a deuce. Congrats, Bronco, for cracking the worst ever takes board. 8chan sucks, don't draft him. I don't know what this would rank. We got RG3 equals JD5. Gibbs is cooked. These are funny. I don't know. It's maybe somewhere in here. It might be top like 3, 4 overall. Worst comment. It's good. See you all later. Appreciate you.
A-Chan. A-Chan is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
A-Chan is the man.
One Tigdale special, please.
Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes.
What you listen to? I'm listening to the Fantasy of Football show. Maybe Spotify, YouTube, IG. That's how we go and give you these keys, give you these gems. Smitty on the game.
Your Bijan card has been revoked. Get braced. Get lambed.
See you all tonight. Appreciate you. I'll be back probably midnight Eastern.